Max, you be the
Um,
one that talks about
we
what happened
had
last week.
y'all had some
We
important roleplay sessions, but like before we hit the you cannot save your progress after this point, and you can't stop. Like we had the game saying, "Hey yo, this is it," and these are our last like roleplay moments before we go off to war to fight the King of Black Everfrost.
Yeah.
And
Was that a question?
and so I guess yesterday, did Tommy go yesterday, or is Tommy scheduled to go today?
Tommy's not here today because Tommy's gotta get laid.
I know
or
he's not here,
something.
but was he scheduled?
He was supposed to do something today.
Okay. So then we did Cody, Amal.
Well, all
'Cause he
Tommy
can
was
just
really
get-
doing was
because
ferrying
she-
us around.
Well, Tommy was supposed to help
She
with the
can just,
resurrection of the dragon god, so.
Oh yeah, and she can just commune with the Mantis Queen, like at will. And we did Cody as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that happened. There was some nice moments, some important moments indeed. With you shuttling to different parts of the world to see various different people. You saw, you headed back to the old monastery. You got to get an update on what happened with Korra. I mean, spoilers, is not good. She's not doing great. But she's alive, and that's what matters the most. You sort of that was really the big one, But everybody else is off, just sort of off being shepherded around to go see various different people, go talk to whoever, their family and things like that. Point is, nothing that important happened. However, there was some interest raised by Klaus and the Redeemer about getting into the Black Vaults once again, because that's where the rest of Hospitael's, or what remains of Hospitael's bones that he had gathered, much of it is there. That's where the ritual is being taken place. He talked about the fact that using Aruna's particularly prodigious magical abilities could allow them to bypass teleporting into the capital, having to make their way back down to the vault to just teleport directly into the vault, because he has a comprehensive knowledge of the vault's wards, and Aruna's strong enough to probably be able to make a little pinpoint hole into it to get them there safely. That was one of the things that was potentially going to be done. Let's see, Gen is planning to visit to talk, because Adelaide sort of asked for Gen to come to give him an update, which he does seem willing to do. It's a nice moment. She's like, hey, I have to take responsibility for this because I'm the leader of this place, and blah, 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 blah. So she had that whole moment. She's like, I'm not going to make Ito worry about it because Ito's got his own shit to worry about. Ito went to the Shrine of St. Cuthbert, made sure he was completely rededicated to Green Lady, eschewed his ties to St. Cuthbert, and returned into the warm embrace of the Green Lady fully, so that's nice. Oh my god, they're finally leaving.
Did not raise dead St. Cuthbert. Thought about it.
Probably would not have been a good idea. But they're finally leaving. They're going home. Thank God.
I can't believe it, Colin.
They've been here all damn week.
I mean,
they're
basically your kids now.
The only night
They've been there all week, and you had 3 hot dogs for Thanksgiving?
The only night they weren't here was Wednesday night, and they came back Thursday afternoon. So that's because they went and they did Thanksgiving at someone else's place. Whatever.
Damn.
But the point is, yeah.
They should have stayed there then.
Did anybody else do anything? I can't remember.
No.
I don't think
no
anybody
one
else did anything. Did Karakwa do anything?
Karakwa doesn't even exist. You forgot, Colin. We talked about this.
All right, well, I'll just delete Karakwa here. Free up some space. Players, Karakwa. Right.
Clear.
You now have to play as the Wildfire Fly Spirit, so have fun.
I'll do it. I'm gonna flame seed every turn so hard.
You can teleport, and not only that, you've got so much health. 105.
That's it right there.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of health. Alright, things left to do. I believe that Connor, Ito wanted to go see Amelia. Go back to the island.
Yes.
Be an island boy for a little while.
Island boy.
The big thing was that people were going to go finish resurrecting Hasfadel. That was a big one. Did Henley do something? Did he go back? I can't remember.
Did Emily talk with Adelaide?
I think he talked with Crowler, maybe?
Yes.
Oh, Crowder?
Yeah,
Yes, he
Crowder,
did.
I think he talked with
His
Crowder.
sister, yeah.
But, yeah, that's, you know. So, that's taken care of. I think that's pretty much... Did anybody else want to do anything? I don't think so. I know Venta's tagging along for the island adventure.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to my mom and my dad.
Tommy said...
I could do stuff. I don't know if you did anything with Alec Cole, how it was going.
Nah, she just remained behind on the airship.
Go for it.
I think the portent die is 6.
Oh.
But there's still, like I said, an entire month of travel that you're able to go around and talk and make final preparations. And indeed, I can't remember how Reed and Cora ended either. Just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
Just with me rallying the monks and swearing vengeance on Bismarck.
I mean, that's nothing new. He's had it coming.
Yeah.
Alright. Tommy did say he's got room on the airship for Cora, but she's definitely not going on that airship. She'd throw herself off. Couldn't stand the cabins. Holy crap. Alright. We will begin with... You know what? If you want to go ahead and head back to the Ile de Royhan, Ito, you can. Unfortunately, Aruna is likely going to be on strictly teleport duty, so she's going to be ferrying you to and fro, but I'm not going to make her roll to teleport or anything like that. Luckily...
Weak.
Alright. Maybe you'll end up in the middle of... You can end
I
up in the
can't
middle
wait
of
for
the
them to end up in
ocean.
the weird sea.
Well, you know, I'll roll a D100. Let's find out. Alright.
What's the worst that could happen?
She rolled an 82, which I'm deciding to land you in the weird sea, so that's too bad.
Huh.
You
Shame.
do arrive back on the Ile de Royhan. It is every bit as beautiful as the last time you left it. A familiar sight that warms your heart after you've been gone for quite a while now. At least a few months. The temple to the Green Lady is coming along nicely, as there is now a teleportation circle in it, sort of centered right in front of the Green Lady statue, where you and Amelia held your hurried vows, and now no longer is it a dilapidated, broken down ruin. It is, you know, still dilapidated, but at least it's not really a ruin. That's something. Still being work in progress, but it does seem that very minimal work has been going on lately. Cobwebs still hang in the corners, and there are abandoned, like, stonemason and carver's tools off in one corner, next to a half-finished column of some sort that looks like it's been either being repaired or newly installed. You're not actually quite sure. It does look quite a bit more spacious. Stepping out into the beautiful sort of sunlight, you actually shiver faintly. There is a chill over the island, one unlike you ever felt in your whole life. The Ile de Royhan has always been a rather, tropical, relatively tropical climate, or at least temperate most of the year. Warm winters, very warm summers. There's actually a chill in the air, and as you breathe, you can just faintly make out of your breath. It's unusual. Or perhaps
Could be warm.
perhaps not that unusual,
Okay.
all things considered.
Okay.
The path back to the town is quiet, peaceful. You hear familiar bird calls and see familiar trees. The beautiful green leaves having turned brown or fallen off entirely in many of them. Approaching the town, you see tendrils of smoke rising up from the chimneys as every one of them burns fire to sort of drive this unusual chill away. And outside the town itself, you can see there's been various tents that have been set up, a veritable tent city. Most of them centered around large bonfires, where you can see there's trunks of timber. It looks like pieces of boat. Anything that could potentially be used as kindling or firewood has been gathered off to one side. As you realize that it's been getting cold here, cold enough that they feel the urge to make large fires for people to gather around. You have to make the decision. Do you enforce child labor or not? That is the question, Connor.
Connor.
Child labor. Child labor.
I don't want to.
It's your first frost.
Times of strife.
Yeah, it's your first Frostpunk decision. So
No.
It's either that or we're eating super sawdust. So
but
You could eat the children.
that's true.
Shit.
If they're not gonna work, they might as well be good for something. But no, you see that things are definitely quite a bit more dire than when last you left it. Freaking what's her name, Mayora, and Bartleby had only sort of planned out enough food to last for a couple months, but for like 3-4 months they had it planned out. That's about how long you've been gone, pretty easily.
Okay.
So things are not, there's nobody eating each other in the streets, but there's a sense of, it's just dire. A sense of desperation in the air. You can see many people are gathered around their tents, with very little to do. The island itself, not that big. Pretty well defended. Fishing boats going to and fro gathering fish, but the reality is, for a lot of these people, there's not a lot to do but sit and wait. Benta, what do you do?
I go see my parents. I go to my tavern, and I go say hi to my parents, Isabel and Heron.
Right. Your Frostpunk decision is, do they serve the children?
I don't think my mother had another child.
No, I mean, just,
Yeah,
are they serving
that
children?
you know of.
So
Yeah.
so just the neighbors' kids then.
Damn.
Asking about cannibalism.
I don't think they're cannibals.
How long have you been gone, Venta? Before like between?
Yeah, Venta. You walk in and your mother says she wanted to make stew, so she got an abortion. What do you do?
Damn. It has been a while. It has been, I don't I don't know when it was. It wasn't the last time we were here, because last time we were here is when Ito said, "I'm sorry I let your son die. I'm gonna bring him back," and that would be now.
And then I did.
I mean, I feel like everyone else put in a lot more work.
They ain't here.
How is the tavern doing?
It
Is
was
okay?
all Joseph Smoke.
All right.
100% single-handed effort.
Did it really work
Joseph
or not?
Smoke.
Say what? They're gone? Till Tuesday, they'll be fucking back. They
They're
never
gone.
leave. They'll be back on Tuesday, so.
I like how even your mom was excited about it.
They've been
Colin,
here.
you and your mom should just move to a different state and just not tell your sister.
They just show up and the house is empty.
You can go to bed. I'll feed Gracie and
Did you just give your mom permission to go to sleep?
yeah, she probably wants to try to cook something. Like, oh, I'll fucking eat something. You can just go
Let
to
her
sleep.
cook.
Let her cook. All right. Returning, making your way through the streets, you pass by desperate faces covered with dirt and ash, gaunt faces that at this point don't even hold their hands out to beg, knowing that there's little to expect. Making your way towards your tavern, you can see there is a long line that extends outside of it, easily down 3 blocks. People waiting with empty bowls. As you can see, the tavern itself
Oh,
has...
so this has become a soup kitchen.
Yes. The tavern
It's
itself has...
actually already a soup kitchen when we first showed up.
Technically.
I mean, yeah, technically. But the tavern itself has turned into a bread line, essentially. You can see the tendril of smoke sort of rising up from the large sort of brick chimney that sticks out the top of it. It looks like there's been a little bit of work that has been done to widen the entrance. It looks like the door was taken out and a part of the wall was demolished. To make room for a large set of double doors to allow one line going in and a bunch of people exiting out the same side, or the opposite side of it, essentially. It's a loud and boisterous place, with quite a few people moving to and fro. You can see there's a long line of sort of people that are doling out a ladle of relatively thin soup and a hunk of stale bread for the most part. But when you're just trying to survive, thin soup and stale bread is better than nothing. At least it keeps the hunger pains away, even if it doesn't taste that great. You can see your mother is sort of overseeing it. She has a sort of apron wrapped around her that's covered in... it's singed. Her hair is tied up. As your father smiles somewhat benevolently as he hands out pieces of bread.
I don't want to make like a huge show of it. I come in and I step around the line. I'm not here.
Hey!
I don't have a bowl.
Get in line!
I don't have a bowl.
We're all starving here!
I live here. As I go and
I do too now!
Take
Unfortunately.
his soul. Take his soul.
Kill him,
The
strike
song
him
doesn't
down.
do that anymore.
You're awful at the trumpet. You'll never be a musician.
I hang my head. I know.
You ruined a perfectly
Colin,
good
the
Columbus
backstory
Day.
of this-
Meanwhile, Venta's mother in the kitchen.
Yeah, Venta's mother.
It's
I go to my mom.
like I said, she's making soup.
I
Oh god!
Venta!
Oh, that almost made me throw up.
Oh, my boy! As she rushes around and she hugs you as she sort of steps back. I'd heard that you fell.
hit my head kind of hard. I got back up.
She sort of dusts off your shoulder and says, "You look like you've grown a foot since the last time I saw you."
Oh yeah, he's not hunched anymore, right? 'Cause
Nope.
He's not sick anymore.
Not sick.
Yeah, funny you should say that. Um. Yeah, I sure have. Look, I've even put on a little bit of muscle, and I like pull out my shirt and I like flex a little bit for it.
Don't-
And
Sister, don't do that here. You're gonna get the girls all excited.
I say, "Where's Dad? Is he in back?"
Actually, you know what? Do it here. It's time
No,
that
Dad-
we had a nice little another set of little feet running around here.
I tried with a lovely blue skin woman. I really
That's not
did.
little feet.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Did Max have hunchback syndrome or something? Like, what did we cure him of?
No, he was like
he was
Rufus
he was
from
sick.
fucking,
He's just sickly.
Yeah.
I had like God TB.
Yeah, he had like
You called him hunchback.
he had green tuberculosis.
He was like hunched over. Yeah.
You had the
Oh, okay.
green sickness.
He was
He-
thick.
he-
He was
was
thin. He was gaunt.
His spine was buckled like completely.
See, Vincent misheard
Shit.
Eel DeRoyhan, and he took it seriously.
Oh, it's it.
Shut up.
Say I would go see Dad if I could. Is Dad
Heron.
busy?
Well, he's right over there. She motions to where he's been handing out
Oh, there's
bread.
not like a different room. She's just like
No.
he was standing in the front. He's handing
He's,
out
it's in the
stuff.
common room handing out bread.
She's in the back. He was in the front.
Oh, okay. I go see my dad. I kind of get his attention. I give him a big hug.
My boy, as he sort of wraps his arms around you, and pats your back.
I squeeze him like extra hard. I try to
Ugh,
show him that I'm getting stronger.
My word, you're gonna break me in half, kid. Stand
Well,
up
it's a long
straight.
day
Let me
for
get
you
a good
breaking
look at
in
you.
I puff out my chest a little bit.
What are you trying to show me your tits? But no, he pats you on the back and he says, "You look good. Much
Thank you.
better."
I've been training.
Wow, doing good work for you, my boy.
Yeah.
How's the old cough treating you?
I can't remember the last time I had a tickle in my throat. No. No. I see it.
Alec
Oh.
Gould remembers.
Like,
Oh my. Oh. Damn. I guess maybe this adventure did. I wasn't sold on you following out on this adventure sort of thing, but it looks like it's done you some good. You've been sick
You
ever
reckon
since
I
you were a
just need a-
boy. Maybe you just needed the fresh air.
Yeah, I was about to say. I reckon I just needed some fresh air.
Dad's over here like, I was right. For 20 years, I was right. No one listened to me.
Your mom owes me $5.
Right? It's like, oh, your mother's gonna hear about this shit. I'm bringing this one back from the dead.
I told your mother that when you were a baby, we shouldn't be putting you outside in the cold with fucking nothing on. I was like, gotta be warm, but no. I guess she proved my point, because now you're better.
Doctor reads diagnosis. Dad, son of a bitch, I was right.
I was like, look, if you leave this child outside in the cold, it's gonna get God tuberculosis. I was fucking right, so.
We're 48 minutes into the episode and Dr. House has the answer.
Wow. He always does.
I was like, look, if you leave this child outside, it's gonna get lupus too. Lupus harder. And he fucking was right, so I'm just saying.
Lupus 2, Green Boogaloo.
But no, he is
Um,
happy to see you.
I will be right back.
He says,
Me too, we'll be right back.
God, I wish we had something to give you more than just stale bread, but, I mean, they've been pretty,
That's
strict on the rationing and resources and things like that. That little gnome woman's a taskmaster. And, the lady of the island, she, tries to help out she can, but I think she knows that if we're all gonna make it through this, some sacrifices gotta be made. And considering some of the sacrifices I hear about on the mainland, I'd say we're doing pretty damn okay. Like, the people that come here talk about, people wearing, with glowing blue eyes and glittering black armor and things like that, so, all things considered, having to be a little bit hungry ain't that bad,
A lot of folks are In danger. Yeah.
Well, last I checked, the island's population had swelled to 15,000.
Goodness gracious.
A lot of people
lot of
for
mouths
this
to
island.
feed.
Yep. That's about 15 times the normal population.
I suppose we should get to work, and I grab an apron. I get going. I start making bread and cooking soup for these hungry people.
All right. You head to the back and join your mother as you disappear. You hear father sort of the voice fading behind you. All right, everybody, just have a nice orderly line. We got food for everybody. Nobody needs to worry about that. We got plenty. It's not the best fare, but it'll fill you up. And you go back there and you find the kitchen is. It's not poorly stocked in that there's not a significant amount of food, but it's poorly stocked in that the supplies are lower quality. Quite a few of them are old. You're having to make, whenever you make the soup, you're kind of having to cut around like moldering pieces of carrots and things like that. Times are tough,
Damn.
you know?
Yeah.
But you do what you can. There's still plenty. One of the convenient things about being on this island is there is access to plenty of salt. You do have access to as much salt as you need, so the meats can be preserved. You can season the dishes. You can oversalt them to disguise the fact that they're a bit thin.
I'm back.
You do what you can, because luckily, like I said, the Ilder Royhan doesn't just make wine; it also makes salt. So, all right.
Boy, does it! Let me tell you.
Yeah, but Connor, the population of the Ilder Royhan has swelled to 15,000.
Nice.
That's a lot of people for this island.
It was like 900.
Yeah, it was about about 1,000.
Okay.
So it doesn't seem like a lot, but that's a lot for this little island.
Yeah.
So Connor, Ito.
Yes. Yep. That's me.
As Venta breaks away, to go work the bread line, work the soup kitchen, with his
Can I
mom,
add
and
one more
reunite.
thing?
Yeah.
As soon as I learn like what my parents' stocks are like, I relay that to Ito. I give him like a status update, I guess, on like the food situation at the eel. Even if he probably guessed that anyways, because he's Ito. But I want to make sure that I make a point to tell him with over the earpiece.
I do want to state for the record that the Ile de Royhan is larger than 1 square mile.
I know.
it's
but
big.
Not much, but
well, just if this is any metric.
yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Okay, I hear that. Were you asking what I'm gonna go do, Colin?
Yep.
I want to find where the injured are. Where like any kind of, I'm sure there's like a makeshift infirmary or something.
There is a convalescence home. There is like a makeshift infirmary. Obviously, the Ile de Royhan is not anywhere close to like a front fighting line. It's not a place where there's going to be a lot of like battlefield type injuries. So for the most part, it's not like that full relatively. And a lot of the sickly there are suffering very minor ailments for the most part. It's definitely like cuts and scrapes, the occasional deep gash that needs to be stitched up, some dehydration, some malnourishment where they have to sort of give them some slightly better rations. Quite a few. There is a fair amount of disease, however, especially amongst. You can see there's at least a score of elderly that are suffering from some sort of respiratory symptom. You can hear them cough. They have like ragged, wet coughs.
I will just go amongst wherever I need to go, and I will expend lay on hands, spell slots, to lay on hands and spell slots, sorry, to help in any way that I can, cure wounds, detect
All right.
poison and disease.
You slowly make your way through the infirmary, the small little hospital that has been, set up or at least expanded upon. As you make your way from bed to bed, from little ward to little isolated ward, as you get close to the back, you pause in your tracks. The breath hitches in your throat as you see a beautiful woman next to an elderly patient. She's sort of stroking his hand as he sort of wheezes heavily. Her hair is tied up into a bun, and her pale skin is almost translucent. Her eyes are darkened as if she's not been sleeping well, and she has a stomach that is swollen with child, and yet she still is here in the infirmary comforting this very sick elderly man. It is Amelia.
If I see her before she notices me, I'm just gonna continue to let her work while I kind of move about and help as best I can.
Of course. Obviously, Amelia has no magical prowess. She's certainly not capable of healing a wound magically, but she is able to be there and be a comfort for these sicker elderly patients. As she pats his hand and gently lays it by his side, pulls the cover up next, sort of over him, so he's kept warm enough, and straightens out the bed, just sort of stands there for a moment. There's a look of like utter exhaustion over her face, as she turns and starts making her way to the next one before she sort of spies you and just stops dead in her tracks. Lord Avendor?
I would definitely make a face at her saying Lord.
Do the face on camera right now. What face?
I can't do it now.
Do the
You ruined the big surprise.
Connor, do the face.
Jesus.
Wait, hang on, I have a Sharpie here somewhere. Hold on.
No, fuck you. Do the face, idiot.
You want to know how I drive these cars?
Fuck.
Is he writing damaged on his forehead, or is he drawing a mouth on his
Like
hand?
she just kind of stands there, sort of dumbfounded before she's Avendor, as she is prone to do.
Mouth with a grill that spells out damaged.
Is prone
But
to
it's
do.
just DMGD.
She always had trouble, like, even calling you, like, Ito in private. She's always been a bit more formal.
But yeah, no, I will just kind of nod, but I want to find like the worst of this building and use what I can, lesser restorations, whatever.
Of course. You do what you can. Which is a lot, realistically. These are not, like, magical diseases that they have or anything like that. They're just suffering for your standard, too close together, too cold type of ailments. Like rhinoviruses, no god tuberculosis. If you can deal with god tuberculosis, like regular tuberculosis ain't a fucking big deal, It ain't shit.
I guess that's fair.
Until finally you exhaust all of the healing that you have. And the load is significantly lightened. So a solid handful of people that are going home, easing the burden off of this relatively small infirmary.
I'm going to. I'm Xing out all of my spell slots except for one. I'm gonna keep a 5th level up. Everything else is expended.
Needs to cast Sending later.
As soon as, like I said, you clear out the worst of the wards, and as soon as they're empty, there are still, like, nurses that are cleaning up beds and things like that. They strip, the rough cots and the pallets and take the, linens to be washed. Many of them thanking you, and yet seemingly few of them recognizing that you are, in fact, the lord of the island. You see unusual and very new faces. You probably knew most of the Ile de Rohan before. It wasn't huge. And these are all pretty much, transplants, refugees, acting as nurses and maids and doctors and things like that. So they actually don't pay you a lot of attention, politely asking you to step aside.
Anyone who says for me to step aside, I'll just kind of mill about and move on to the next person. But I will, I will become cognizant. I'll send a cantrip message to Venta and say I should adventure more. Nobody here recognizes me. This is awesome.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
Finally, you can see Amelia just sort of slowly slinks onto a bed. Her hand sort of runs down the silken dress to her stomach as she just breathes a sigh of relief.
I will go and I will be with her once I'm spent.
Spent? How do you think this fucking happened? Oh no.
I hate you all so
That's
much.
it. It's born. Arc over. Baby delivered.
Yep.
It's just
It's
that
just-
easy.
Like a cannon.
Like a lawnmower chain,
The kid
Pull it once.
flies out like a cannon, just out of nowhere, all the way to the docks.
Beaver, I can understand why you're gay now. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, Beaver's gay because he loves dick. It's that simple.
Yep.
It doesn't need to be more complicated than that. It doesn't. It doesn't have to be more complicated than that.
Oh, the more you know.
There's like a quiet moment where she just sort of rests and she sort of leans on you, Ito. And she almost, as she is leaning there for a moment, she sort of shakes her head as if she's shocked as she sort of sits up straight and says, "Wait, why are you back? Is something wrong?"
That kind of depends on who you're asking, but no, nothing is wrong. We had a moment before our next adventure, and I felt I needed to show my face here.
I would have hoped you would have been just happy to come see me.
Always. I thought that went without saying.
She takes your hand and she places it on her stomach and she says, "It's been a trying few months."
How my timeline's fucked. How far along is she?
She's about 4 months long.
Okay. So she's not even at the halfway point. Cool. Okay.
Yeah, it would be somewhere 4 or 5 months. That's about where it's been. She'd probably be halfway-ish along.
I'm spent with the exception of my 5th level. Is it possible to get a idea
To detect thoughts on the embryo?
No. Ooh, that's a character idea. No, I just to like get a vibe check of like how she's doing health wise.
All right.
I hope detect embryo is never a spell.
I hope that
You've never read through Fatal, have you?
I hope that there is a character that detect thoughts embryo because they think that embryos haven't come here yet, so they can see into the heavens. And so they're like, I can do it. I can see into the heavens if I detect thoughts with embryos. Do it, Connor. And then cuts them out because you're a back alley surgeon.
I just want to, I just want to see if I can get like a kind of a vibe check, see if how she is doing.
She is not eating well.
I see.
She needs to be eating more.
Okay.
She is thin. Obviously, in fact, that might even be why she looks a little bit farther along. She's probably
just in contrast. Okay.
Yeah, she's not lost weight, but she probably hasn't put on any weight either.
I see.
She's not taking care of herself as well as she probably should be under the circumstances of being pregnant.
Okay. I will mention that to her. You are not eating.
She sort of shakes her head and she says, "You sound just like Bromwell and Mayora. You know, they're always saying I should eat more."
You know, contrary to popular belief, I did actually listen to those two on occasion.
Oh. It feels wrong to eat more when so many people eat less. You know, I see people going by days, sometimes 2-3 days, with little more than water and a hunk of stale, maggoty bread. They want meat back on the menu.
I will stay here as long as I can. I will be needed elsewhere, but I plan to stay until I am recalled.
She says, well, you'll at least be here for the night, right?
I plan to be here for several days, actually.
Well, everyone will be happy to see you. No, I'm happy to see you. I missed you.
Missed you too.
To tell you the truth, whenever this marriage was arranged, I was worried that, you know, God knows how I would feel about the situation, but it wasn't a relief to have you gone.
I enjoy my time away only because it means that when I do return, a number of things happen. People don't know who I am, and that's always new and exciting. But it means I always get to see the island again.
Well, unfortunately, we're going to have to go where some people are going to recognize you. I don't think you're going to be able to keep Mayora from clutching your waist whenever we get there.
I'd rather she clutch yours so that she can understand how underfed you are.
She does. She has set aside extra for me.
And you've not taken advantage of it.
It feels wrong to do it.
Colin, this is a Connor question because I realize I don't think we ever had this conversation, but is her pregnancy the next heir?
Yeah.
Okay. I was assuming that was the lineage tree, but I wasn't sure.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It would be your child. It's not like, only male heirs. It's the eldest heir. So if it's a girl or it's a boy, it doesn't really matter.
But this pregnancy circumvents the siblings.
Yes.
Sibling. Okay.
Yes. Even so, Valdira has not.
She doesn't want it. Yeah. Okay.
But she's like, Mayora's set aside extra rations. Bromwell's sends out his dog into the forest to hunt and bring fresh food when it can. It feels wrong when so many people go without for me to partake of it. I mean, I'm not the only pregnant person on this island. There's others. Is it right that I get to eat so much extra when they starve, when they struggle? Just because of what? A name? A lineage? A pedigree? A fat ass and a dummy thick vagina? Is that
Gross.
Is that why I get to eat extra? The point is, I mean, she, to her credit, has a lot of the sensibilities of Ito. This idea of service to the people. Ideas that you've tried to instill into Adelaide, in a way. Idea of like, these are your people. You should be with them, you should help them, etc., etc. Shut up, Gracie. I'm not enjoying.
I kind of take her by the hand, and I look at her and I say, I understand and agree with everything that you're saying. However, you need to eat. And then I take her to the manor house.
All right.
I'm reserving my lordly right to be a hypocrite just this once, and I escort her to the manor house.
The manor house itself is much like you left it. There are several tents that have been set up outside, as there are people living even this far up, even away from the town itself. And all of them greet Amelia very fondly. They call her Lady Amelia. Several of them ask as to how her health is. They are varied, assorted people. You see, you see humans, you see elves, you see dwarves, you see all sorts. As she passes through them, she smiles, and Amelia, to her credit, also stops. She asks them how they are doing. She asks them if they've eaten today. She says, I make sure you're eating at least once a day, my dear. She sort of pats her on the shoulder as she heads back to the island. As one of them says, "Hey, who's that guy?" "This is the lord of the island, Lord Avendor, Lord Sarasenio. He's briefly returned."
Do I recognize that voice?
No, this is just some random person. Some random refugee.
I will wave or bow or whatever I need to do to acknowledge this person, and then I will continue to kind of usher Emilia away.
She passes through the gates, and they close behind her. You find yourself standing into... The grounds themselves are much unchanged. There is a faint... as soon as you step in, the air actually almost seems warmer. It seems more pleasant. The trees here are not turning brown. They actually remain verdantly green. And as you sort of walk through the glade leading up to the manor house, the air does smell faintly of cinnamon, and you get a feeling of magic resting in the air here.
Ito doesn't say anything, but that familiar spell smell, it is noticed. He
What
enjoys that.
what protections she may offer are definitely over this estate. But you have very little time before, as you're walking down, before you hear like a high-pitched Lord Sarasenio, as all of a sudden you feel two arms like wrap themselves around your waist like some sort of fucking vice, as Mayora sort of clasps her arms around your waist and hugs you tightly. Her little face brimming with tears. You're back!
Only temporarily, unfortunately.
Of course. Sort of recollects herself. Obviously, there's things that need to be done still, probably. Bartleby walks up behind her. He has a ledger in his hand. He's slightly red-faced as he nods at you and says, Lord Sarasenio.
Yes, hello.
Perhaps while you are here, you would like to look over the books.
I hand wave that, and all of my faith, power, and abilities fall to yourself and to Mayora. I fully trust what you have going on. I have more important matters to attend to. I will, if I have a moment, I will attend to you. But right now, I have other things. I apologize.
Of course, it's good that you have such strong faith, even were it so wholly unfounded. As almost immediately, Mayora sort of steps back. Now hold on a second, the numbers add up, and they start immediately arguing over the numbers.
I let
Look,
them
you
bicker.
can't expect an average yield of 3 eggs per hen every 2 days. It's insane. And they start arguing over the amount of egg production that hens can be expected to do. The minutiae of bookkeepers. You don't want to get into that. You'll lose a hand. You step away, allowing them to just argue. It's not mean-natured argument, however. It almost has like it's almost like a good-natured argument, with really the, differences being extremely minor and basically inconsequential to anyone that doesn't really care about numbers. To anyone whose ultimate dream is not having a steam-powered adding machine, those sort of numbers. You just like, hand wave it away. Mayora will take care of it. Bartleby will take care of it. They've managed to keep the island up and running so far.
I will take her, and I will kind of continue nudging her along, like straight to the kitchens.
As soon as you step inside, the manor is warm, and you hear a voice that says, "May I take your coat, my lord?" As sort of Dags walks up.
Am I in the kitchen yet?
Nope, you've only entered the manor house.
I am completely ignoring Dags, and I am just making a beeline.
Very good, my lord. He sort of steps back to the doorway, but you can feel his gaze on you as he's like, I really want to take that coat off.
Nice.
Oh, it's got to be filthy too. Like it's not.
I'm getting that.
It's
awful.
It's improper to have a clean coat on inside. Like you got a filthy coat. But
Got muddy boots going.
he does not sort of pull them off of you. He merely steps back to the door and watches you as you head through the dining room to the kitchen, where you can see there's little more than a skeleton crew of a cook and a scullery maid that are basically cooking a meager meal. You can see, you hear a voice that said, "Attaboy, attaboy." As you can see, Bromwell is in the off behind the kitchen. He has like a bone that has had the meat carved away from it as he hands it to a very large puppy, essentially.
Zarello?
Yep.
Zareo? Who I don't remember what breed we made that dog. I think it was a white lab.
Doesn't matter. It's just a dog. But it's grown to be
Just a dog.
It's grown to be quite immense. You can see it's he says sit, lay down, roll over, and it immediately responds to every single command. A well-trained mutt indeed, a well-trained beast.
I will address Bromwell directly, and I will say,
Look at you, I don't know what's dirtier, the fucking dog coming out the woods or you coming into the house.
if you say that any louder, Daggerond will kill your throat out.
That foppish sort, you know how he is.
I
God,
do.
Lord's bless him, he loves you, but he hates a little bit of dirt on his damn carpets.
I do, however, need food.
Well, that's something that we can do. About how much are we looking for?
Enough for her, and I will, I take a seat, and,
He furrows his
sure.
brow and he sort of meaty hands. He holds up things. I told you, young lady, that you're going to get in trouble if you didn't eat. Well, I'm glad you're here to fucking drive some sense into her.
I don't think I'm capable of that, but I can make an attempt.
Well, he sort of turns and he goes to Zareo. He says, "All right, boy. Hunt. You know the drill." Pats him on the ass and the dog takes off running. Not a lot of game left on the island, at least not enough major game, but there's still, some rabbits and gophers and the like. You always find something.
Does the house not have any stores?
Ha! Nobody's got any real stores, let's be real. It's all held within one carefully, tightly controlled building, a warehouse that Mayor and her bean counter count every damn bean that comes out of it. I've never met a more apt description of a bean counter. But, to their credit,
suppose.
nobody's been starving on the island so far.
Not in trouble, as I said, but I will take some selfishness and
Well,
be
you're the-
better off
you're the
knowing
lord of this
that she is
island.
fed.
It's not to say that we haven't tried to give her extra rations, but she's as stubborn as I've been sometimes.
I find that
No offense
hard
meant.
I find that hard to believe. But I will. Yes, I will wait. If Zarello returns with something, I will wait that out, and I will just talk with my wife.
You don't have to wait for too long. After maybe an hour, so, the dog arrives once again carrying quite a sizable rabbit in his mouth. These are like these aren't little rabbits. These are like big hares that live in the forests around the mountain in the center of the island, and he brings it back, drops it on the ground. As you can see, it shudders and twists a little bit before Bromwell comes and just snaps its neck to give it a final killing blow, as it was still slightly alive. Not exactly a feast, my lord, but well.
I think these days it would quantify as a feast.
He sort of shakes his head and he says, "Oh boy, do I hope there's bigger feasts in the future."
It could be.
I reckon if there's not, well, the reasons for not having one, well, I probably won't care, you know. I'll skin this and have it prepped for you. I'll take it, send it to the scullery maid and the cook. Why don't you go and rest in your drawing room or your bedroom? We'll send food up to you.
Where are we? Are we in the kitchen?
You're just outside the kitchen behind it.
Outside the kitchen.
But he says, I mean, cooking the food's the easy part. Convincing her to eat it, you know, that's the hard one.
I will ask her where she would like to wait.
The drawing room, just upstairs.
And we will head that way.
It's not exactly a formal affair. I don't think we need the dining hall.
It's okay. Truth be told, if I had spent more time here, we probably would have gotten rid of a few of these rooms to begin with.
Well, I hope not. I quite like a household to manage, and who knows, we might need quite a few more children's room.
Right now, I think I can handle the one. If you'd like to have others, though, you should probably eat.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, she's going to go to the drawing room. You will join her. It'll be about an hour-ish to finish all the cooking, all the preparations. Meanwhile, let's do someone else. Who else wants to do something? Who else had anything planned? I know we got Beaver going to the Black Vaults. I think Amal said she might want to do something.
I would probably I'd probably go to the vaults too.
Probably
Just to start.
wise. It has been discussed that raising Hasfadel is gonna be a task. It's not as simple as putting the bones together and waving your hands. And not only that, it's going to not only require a tremendous amount of magical power, a tremendous amount of will and concentration. One of the stipulations of Hasfadel being reborn into this world is that basically Klaus is not going to be able to cast any other concentration spell. Anything else that has any kind of concentration,
Yeah.
Klaus can't cast it until Hasfadel is no longer being reassembled. In return, he gets a nuclear bomb, essentially.
Yeah.
Or something that can
I've
fight,
become
that can
Oppenheimer.
go toe-to-toe with Bismarck.
Yeah, while you guys take care of everything else.
So the
Did we also
issue
say that
then,
we had to hang on? Did we also say that we also had to get the witches involved with the Runa?
That was
to
one.
maintain-
That was one of the things that was floated. Is in the interest of making it easier to raise it, you could even get like Baba Yaga and the witches involved, since now they're kind of on Aruna's side, essentially.
I could
Gotcha.
also do that too if. Yeah.
Are you gonna bring like the hive or something?
No, I could go talk to Baba Yaga because I already have a deal, and
Yeah.
she's.
Well,
Amal's got
were
ties to
trying
Baba Yaga.
avoid. We were trying to avoid like the big people. Like I was trying to avoid Vecna at all fucking costs, and I was
Yeah.
pointing out that bringing Baba Yaga into the flying dragon of fucking death god might also not lead to good
Oh.
things.
Yeah. No, I know. It's mostly if it feels necessary, I can. Otherwise, I mean.
We'll keep Baba Yaga in the back pocket, I guess. Or
Yeah.
Yeah. But-
hmm.
But like deep in the back pocket, like
Did
under the wallet
Klaus
and shit.
did Klaus voice the willingness to avoid Vecna, or is that Beaver talking?
Yes, no, that was last week.
But you did, like, Klaus admitted that? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I feel like most of us
I feel like
are
specifically
already
I
aware.
voiced
Even the
I just wanna make sure.
even
I
the
voiced third party.
even the Redeemer kind of chimed in like, let's not do that if we don't have to.
It's already gotten to the point with Vecna that if too much more is done, that Klaus just kind of loses the body.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I'm fully aware of what I've become.
But yeah, there's the idea of it's gonna be a difficult magical ritual to raise this Hospedale, or like I said, it's not exactly the entirety of Hospedale. It's more like pieces of it and assembling it, lifting it up and animating it. And it's going to take a lot of magical power. It's going to take a lot of magical concentration on Klaus's part, since technically he'll be the one that's the primary controller of it. And that's like the big thing that's going on in the background. And like I said, I think Aruna was like, yeah, Aruna will do it. Alec Cool probably is fine with helping out with that sort of thing. I don't think she has any qualms about raising Hospedale like some people might. But the idea is the more like magical people you get in on the ritual, the easier it becomes.
Random question. Did we make Adelaide aware of our plan to do that? I just feel like maybe
I don't
she should
feel like you
include it.
did.
Maybe
I don't
someone
think we
should
should
mention
include it.
that at some point.
Adelaide,
Wait, hang on.
realistically, Adelaide-
we did this we had this discussion in the bar though, wasn't she?
Ad-
in the
Adelaide-
bar at the time?
Adelaide is probably the type of person that would be like, yeah, let's do it. If you can do it, pull it off.
If I am aware that she wasn't directly told, I would go speak to her about it specifically.
That's fair
I would-
enough.
I'm assuming Adelaide at this point is like avoiding Ito. Is that correct?
I mean,
She-
you're
She is
literally on a different island.
No. It came up last session that she was kind of.
She's kind of been avoiding Ito because she had like that whole speech. She's like, Ito has a child, he has an island, he has his own things to worry about. The burden of the Empire is one that has to rest on my shoulders. So she had that whole speech. So she's been kind of avoiding Ito, which is probably not wise because Ito is still an advisor. Is still someone that she should be. One of the smart things about ruling the Empire is you go to your advisors and talk to them. So it's not been smart that she's been avoiding him, but she has been avoiding him.
Well,
Okay.
I guess to start, then I would go talk to Adelaide.
Fair enough. Adelaide has been... It's not like she's been evasive. She has been withdrawn. She has even been withdrawn from Henley in a way. She understands that Henley and her have chosen each other, as husband and wife, they're partners. But she, at the end of the day, there's still a little bit of a power dynamic where she is the Holy Emperor. She is the heir. And Henley just kind of has fallen into the role as her consort. So there's a bit of a power dynamic there and she has been a bit withdrawn, realistically. Hasn't shared everything. You've noticed that she mostly trains whenever Reed is around. She'll train with Reed using the sword. She often will train on her own, but she is weirdly isolated, which in a way Alec Cool can probably sympathize with.
Yep.
When you approach her, she's on the bow of the ship. She has, the great sword still resting in the crook of her arm where she's been training in it. The wind's flowing around her hair, that sort of thing. As she sort of looks over, ever forward towards Stollerike.
Okay. Well, my lady, if I could have some words privately with you.
Of course, but you don't have to call me my lady, Alikul. We've been traveling now for God knows how many months.
Well, I know.
Adelaide is fine, or If you wish to call me Addy or something, I wouldn't be opposed to that, although I don't think anyone ever has.
I think Adelaide is fine then. But so you know of Klaus in the vault, correct?
Yes, I am aware of his machinations and the machinations of my great uncle.
Are you aware of what they are doing?
I can't say that I am, although I have heard whispers of plans and the like.
Well, I say this coming from somebody who is going to assist, and it needs to happen. Like I already know that this is needed to happen, and I've known it's needed to happen, which is why I was very insistent before we even got Klaus back that this kind of let be. But the intent is to bring back the corpse, or most of the corpse of Hasfidel, which...
She almost furrows brow. The legend? Is that... So I didn't think that was real. I always assumed it was just a myth of some sort.
It's very real, and it's very big. And it would, provided it succeeds, which I know it has to. It should allow us to at least have something to rival the strength of Bismarck and make the fight a little bit more fair. But I did want you to know before we did it, not that I was going to ask permission, and I am sorry for that, but
she sort of...
I was going to do it anyway.
Shakes her head and she says, I am not an expert on matters that are magical, things that are dead or undead, or what? Necromancy. I'm not an expert on it. That is why I am happy to trust you. You are no doubt better informed than I am on the matter, and if you say that it is wise and necessary, then I believe you. And you have my support, what little I can give.
I do appreciate it, and
of course I thank you for bringing this to my attention. I appreciate that you felt comfortable enough to come to me with the information.
Of course. And before I go, as this is not just as an advisor, but as a friend, I would try and keep yourself a little bit more open, if you could. I know you've been withdrawn. It's easy for me to see coming from what I've done, but you still have the option of people like Henley and Ito who would gladly give you advice or train with you. And I think it would be wise if you accepted some of that help before the time is up.
Smiles slightly and she says, thank you. It's just... And she sort of looks towards Stolreich. I've always been so sure of myself. I've always been so confident that no matter what I do, it's going to be okay. There is not any conquest that I couldn't endure. And yet, I look now at, like, it's finally right in front of me, these things that we've been building towards, things that I've been readying myself for, and now it's not just something that's, you know, on the horizon, it's right here. I feel nervous. For the first time in my life, I feel really nervous.
Well, I'm sure having someone at your side would really help with the nerves.
You're right. I would have you not feel as if you have no one by your side. I understand you have circumstances. But I, at the very least, will always ever be welcoming of you. Will always have a place in the palace. You'll never not have somewhere to call home if you wish it.
Thank you.
He smiles and he takes one of your hands and squeezes it comfortingly, and she finds comfort in that as well. As she turns and she looks back to Stolreich, takes the blade, and she sort of says, I think a bit more training is in order still, though. Never can be too keen.
It's true.
Would you like to join me? Perhaps you can show me a thing or two that Master Reed has not shown me yet.
I can do that.
Alright. She smiles, and there's a large open area on the deck where they like training has been done, and you're able to, as you know, people are rushing to and fro. You train with her. You show her, you know, a less formal, perhaps, way of fighting, less structured one that has, you know, a little bit more rough and tumble and rowdiness to it, a little bit of more roguishness to it in a way. But yeah, Alakul will, you know, you've talked to her and she's assured you, Alakul, you will always have a home in the palace, what that is worth.
I'll be right back.
Fuck you,
Yep.
Beaver, come back.
Okay.
I just want
to pee.
I just want to see if he would do it. Alright, go pee.
Yeah, and I guess, you know, after I train with her a bit, I go and, you know, get ready to head to the vault.
Alright. I feel like Adelaide would post a picture of Henley's dick on TikTok and say girl dinner.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Jesus fucking.
Shut up, Cody. I'm
Max-
gonna drink a 6-pack.
Do it.
Did Max say I could just like freely commune with the Mantis Queen?
I thought so,
you-
right? Don't you have like commune?
You have commune. You can cast commune.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Just the ones that I thought you meant like freely at will. I was like,
no, you can cast it.
That's different.
But you say you can't like freely cast it, but you can basically commune for free a certain amount like per day.
Yeah,
Which considering you've got like an entire month, it's basically you can kind of like commune however much you want.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna run to the bathroom, but then I'm gonna do that. About the raising of Asphodel again. So I will be like,
Bathroom break, because I have to pee too. Alright, everyone's back from peeing. I'm back from drinking more beer and I realize I'm gonna destroy my liver by the time I'm 50 with painkillers and alcohol and medication.
I'll see you on the waiting list, bud.
All right. Well,
Let's see who gets denied for liver first.
guess who, whenever we die and we go to hell, guess what we're doing? Still watching the Panthers lose.
That's hell right there.
All right.
This is gonna be fucking Cam Newton not diving on the fumble on the loop.
God damn it.
Football,
It's the fucking It's the Super Bowl, you son of a bitch.
And you didn't dive on it.
Dive
you
on
cunt.
that shit. You dive.
You
Your
made
butt-
a fucking
That
crew
kinda
moves
sucks.
and not dive
Your
on the
body is
ball.
broken anyways. All
More
right.
recently, at least your fucking kicker didn't shank a 35-yard field goal.
35 yards is pretty bad. Eddie Pinheiro is pretty good. He's not great, but he's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
All right, shut up, everyone. We continue onwards. We're done with our pee break. We're done with our breaks. Alec Cool was communing with the Mantis Queen, seeking guidance as to the wisdom of raising Hospedale. That obviously does not. One of the special things about Alec Cool's commune is that it does not have to be a yes or no question. She may indeed unfurl her wings, and the answer to the commune will be basically on the tapestry of her wings, although they can be also, you know,
Real vague.
sort of vague. They're not always vague, but sometimes they can be very vague. Whenever you ask the Mantis Queen as to the wisdom of lifting Hospedale the Scourge, whenever you unfurl your wings, it is a stark, fiery red tapestry that does show a great red dragon that is basically tumbling through mid-air, clutching what you can only imagine is Hospedale the Scourge. It's larger than Bismarck, but it's just a strange sort of scattered assortment of bones that appears vaguely dragon-like. However, you do see as these two are fighting, there is a world of a vast plain of fire beneath them, as if the ground has been set alight.
Oh boy. Okay. Well,
Is that good or bad?
No,
I mean,
doesn't matter.
It could.
You know what?
No,
They don't
is
need all
that
the
good or bad?
bones.
It could be. It could be that it's good and bad.
They don't need all the bones because they'll just fill in the rest of frog DNA like they did in Jurassic Park.
You
Mhm.
know,
There you
no
go.
bones about it.
It's turned the Hospedale's gay.
We just
Which makes sure he doesn't have any
fill
hips.
the void with Siemens.
It's true.
Mm.
It's a splooge dragon. Sploogely.
That's why Klaus has to concentrate for so long. He has to bust one
Oh
off
god.
No, he
more
has
than a few times in a row.
he has to concentrate because he wants to suck that splooge down his throat.
Oh lord.
As to the wisdom
oh, god,
of it,
You got it in my eye of Vecna. Oh god.
No.
on the bright side, Vecna can no longer see me until he wipes out his eyeballs.
No, Vecna gets pink eye.
Vecna has to clean up. Your
Vecna, the paper towels on the counter.
Your communion is, as it's probably not. It's not terribly vague. It's, you know, the idea of, is it wise or not? It's up to you, but it's gonna be destructive no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody would be surprised by that. But how else are you gonna fight Bismarck and the White Tide Mother?
Yep.
Alright. Meanwhile,
Miles away in Washington.
miles away. Is there anybody else that has anything in particular they would like to do? Would Henley like to do anything?
I cast ELK Ascending at 2 a.m. You up?
She calls you a shrivel dick loser, and that is just what you want to hear, as you're into that sort of shit, kink shame, the sort of shaming, and so you're like, oh shit.
I said, that's what your mother said.
Damn.
I spend the other spell slot to tell her. That's what her mother said.
Her mother called you a shriveled dick loser?
Well, Mama was always
Well, I was
right,
doing
so.
it to her.
Are you sure you want to do that? Technically,
No.
she's helping oversee the next generation of extremely powerful magic people.
I mean, shit.
Through kink shaming or through
Leave
No,
them
it's-
alone.
Nah.
Baba Yaga appears. I hear you've been harassing Aruna's mother. She lives with me now, technically, so.
oh no.
Damn.
So,
Leave my roommate alone.
yeah. I do all the important things like fill the child with magical propaganda. She changes the diapers. There's a real,
have a
dichotomy
balance.
here. We've got a balance here. So
We
please
are
don't
not
interrupt
the
it. All right. Does Henley want to do anything? Does Karak want to do anything?
Well, we're kind of sorry, got me in the middle of the bite.
I think Rick's up, so you might have to ask again.
I was
I can't wait for Rick to come back from. Like, Adelaide says she went to Henley seeking guidance, and whenever she didn't answer, Adelaide killed herself. So,
damn.
what were you saying, Karakwa?
It do be like that sometimes. Well, when we left off last time, I was talking to the twins, and
Those damn twins.
them twinses.
They can't
I was
agree
talking
on
to
anything.
Lucia and Lyra,
Yep, Lucielle in
Yeah.
there.
and I was, it would be nice to. Now we're gonna see her anyway soon. I was gonna say, Abigail, but we're actually gonna be heading up there somewhat soon.
There is indeed going to be a confluence of all druids, conclave of sorts.
Horrifying.
Between obviously you, the twins, Abigail, potentially the Avalanche.
Maybe.
Maybe he's got his own things to deal with. Unlikely. I mean, if you call the Vermin Druid, they would probably answer, but they're not likely to just be there.
We won't be there for you.
We are still in the Shadowfell. All right. Okay. That will indeed be a thing that happens.
Yeah. He's done what he's needed to do now, and
All right.
I would assume I would meet back up with Henley so we can get back on the ship and everything. So
Yeah. Obviously. Whenever Henley gets here. Right now. Right now. Right now. Now. Right now. Now. Okay. I gave it a shot. I
One second, I'll message him.
We tried.
I tried to hit the things, but you know what? You know what I have to say about that?
I want Bob Dylan up on stage. Who the fuck are you?
You guys ever seen Bozo dubbed over?
No.
Fuck up, Connor.
I heard that one. Yeah, I didn't notice that one.
All right. Ito,
Yep, that's me.
where we left off. You find that the food is brought to you. I want you to give me a persuasion check to actually be like, look, you gotta eat.
Yeah, okay.
Like, you're good at these, so.
That's what we sell them.
He rolls a 1.
Shit.
20.
God,
He almost did.
You suck.
That's actually quite low.
Yeah, you suck. She doesn't exactly dig into it, but she does begin to eat more as she sort of nods her head. And she sort of says, "You're right. I've just been very busy." And she does eat. You find that as soon as she starts eating, she pretty hungrily devours basically the entire large rabbit by herself.
Damn, bitch.
She's hungry. Soon it's followed by a bit of wild rice that has been gathered, some fruit, some fresh fruit that has been gathered from the forest. You can, it's one of Bromwell's proudest things that he's taught so far to Zoreo is not just the ability to hunt, but also, Zoreo can, like a truffle hunting pig, can sniff out fresh fruit.
Okay.
Teleports to Klaus. See what I did there? Called Klaus a fresh fruit.
Damn.
But
You said I'm kind of spoiled, actually. Like,
Yeah,
there's probably flies around me and shit.
I am also a spoiled fruit, so you know.
that's okay. You can use Klaus to make some banana pudding or something.
There you
But no, Zoreo's been taught pretty well to basically hunt and search out food. So you get like some fresh, like a large hare, you get some fresh fruit, some wild rice. And she eats, you find Ito, now that she's sort of been encouraged by you to eat at least on the baby's behalf. She eats most of it, and you find you actually don't get that much of it.
Nope, that's fine.
But she does at the end say, "Well, I'm stuffed. This is the first time I felt this full in a long time."
Good.
Ayo.
Ayo! She spreads them
God
legs.
damn Jesus Christ.
You gonna clap them cheeks? Gonna sound like a standing ovation, right?
Hell yeah. If only.
She says, "Yo."
Hey, she's clapping for 2 now.
She says,
No.
She says, "Yo, in the Pathfinder 2e, the moon's got a dent in it. So what if the baby's head has a dent in it? Put a dent in that baby head."
I'm upset.
So she's like, she says,
Ito bamfs off of the island.
she nods her head. She nods her head and says, "You know how like Gareth using that snake for the train?" She nods her head. "Yeah, you know what I'm talking about."
I hate everything.
Have you ever wanted a dimension door onto the surface of the sun?
I think yeah. That's
I'm here eating all this hair, so you better be ready to eat all this ass. Hope you ready to eat some hair, because in these times we don't shave our balls. But we do bleach them, which is weird.
Hope you like shag carpet.
You like burgers? How about this fur burger?
God.
I'm tired.
My clit's wearing a sweater. An Angora sweater. Alright. Enough of these bad jokes. Shut up, Cody. Shut up.
I'm sorry.
She says she actually looks a lot better now. You know, even just one real full meal. The darkness sort of disappears from beneath her eyes, and she seems content but tired. As she says, "How many days are you gonna be here?"
as long as they can spare me. Everyone's sort of doing their own thing at the moment.
Well, for at least one night, can you just hold us? As she says us specifically, as you know, she's talking about her and the child.
Of course.
All right, your arm falls asleep. It's the worst.
It is the worst.
Did you ever come up with a name for the child?
Yeah. Nope.
Susanna.
I got 5 months. I don't need that shit right now.
I know
Struggle.
a child. Connor. If it's a boy, Douglas Levinson. He could walk Bob Dylan upstage.
Bob
Struggle
Dylan confirmed
Jones.
for
Fucking
Pathfinder
suck!
2.
The baby comes
Pop,
out looking like
Pop baby comes out. You fucking suck. You call yourself a mother? I want Bob Dylan out on stage. Who the fuck are you? All right. But yeah, she just needs a night where you're there at the very least. She just needs you there as she quickly falls asleep. Fast forwarding, your time in the Ile de Royhan is pleasant, but it's a time of service. You find you are, talking with Mayora a lot. She was always the more bookkeepy sort. Dags was always formal, but he never had a zoomed out big picture. He was always focused on you and not the estate. Because he was your valet. He was your valet. He dressed you. He cleaned you. Bromwell was always, he was never had a zoomed out picture. He was, the groundskeeper. He dealt with just the estate, and he was advisor. He's friends to you and your father. Mayor's the one that has like the big books of the island, so you end up spending quite a bit of time with her and Bartleby. Like I said, he is the government-issued accountant, essentially. The one from the Steel Mint to deal with your... he was the one that was helping deal with your, money problems. He's basically like an auditor, in a way. Of course, all that has been cast to the side, Your, 160-some thousand gold piece, debt to the crown is... it's not just on the back burner, it's like off the stove now. It doesn't matter anymore. And especially after what you've done for the Empire, 165,000 gold pieces, that's a debt that can be forgiven for what you've done, all things considered. So most of your time dealing with him, it has to do with just the day-to-day processes that run the island. I don't know how involved Ito gets with that, however, because it ends up being a lot of number work. I imagine you probably trust Mayora enough to be like, yeah, just do it. You know what you're doing.
No, Ito would, unless she specifically is inquiring about something that she cannot decide on, he would let her work it.
Yeah, she does give you it's almost like complimentary, like here's how things are going, but she does not come to you with questions about the monetary aspects or the actual rationing or anything like that. She basically gives you updates like, this is what we're doing, blah 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 blah, and Bartleby will back her up. They do have disagreements every now and then. Mayora oftentimes will come to you during the time you're there. She'll come to you, and they'll both come to you, and you'll be sort of forced to make a choice in a way, because Mayora always comes to you looking to the finances of the island and the well-being of the island itself, and the family and you. Whereas Bartleby, his counter propositions have to do with the good of Stahlreich and the refugees. Basically, people that are not of the island. People that are basically, they're outsiders. At the end of this, hopefully, most of them will be gone. Mayora has a loyalty to you and to the island, whereas Bartleby has a loyalty to the Empire. So when they come to you, is there one you prefer over the other?
I would do my best to try
there's not a wrong answer here, really.
Yeah, I would do my best to keep it as even as possible.
All right. Every other choice is Bartleby, and every even choice is Mayor.
Bartleby gets Tuesdays by default.
Yep.
But really, I would kind of try and not necessarily avoid them, but I would make a point of I would give them like a designated time throughout the day, probably towards the end, where I would touch base with them, but really I would just try and be on the island helping people and keeping an eye on Amelia to make sure that she is actually like taking care of herself.
Hey, yeah, Mayor comes up. All right, it's April 15th, tax time. She excitedly pulls out her books.
No.
They
Mito dies out of spite.
Obviously, Mayora is more than happy to be like, obviously, she wants to give you fucking space. So they don't ask you it too often. And you're able to spend time with Amelia. Just several days. What does Vented True Cloud doing? Is Vented True Cloud doing anything during those 7 days? Or not 7 days, several days. Is
Max, if you're talking.
Is Max even there?
So what the? I'm sorry, I zoned out.
Max is high. He's had too many hits of his vape.
I have put it down.
You put it down, but that doesn't stop the effects.
I know.
I put it down, Dad.
I'm so sorry. Okay.
Promise I'm sober.
I'm not.
You've got several days on the Ile de Royhan. Is there anything in particular you want to do?
Anything I want to do? I'll keep making bread and helping the people. I'll spend the time with my parents and helping the community. There's no front line here, but there's still shit going on. That's it.
All right. After 4 days of, making soup and making bread, you find that on the 4th day, there's been like a small rotating staff of like various like kitchen people, people that have been helping refugees and the like to prepare food. Okay. On the 4th day, your mother says, "I would like you to meet somebody."
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Her name is Sarah.
Oh.
She's young and very pretty. And she's been really helping out around here.
We would like you to reproduce right now.
I want grandkids.
We can watch if it helps.
Mother, I don't think that's...
I'm tired of you putting loaves in this oven and not loaves in any other.
Oh, Mother! Oh my...
Good.
Don't be a bitch!
I'm just saying you're going to inherit the inn. Who is going to inherit the inn after you? She's a nice girl. Take her out.
You're not working on it though, Max.
You
just fucking lied to your mother.
Venta, your sperm is dying.
Colin,
You're already 22 years old.
All right, Sarah's actually an ogre, and she has a mohawk that runs down her back to her ass.
Yes!
Oh God!
Plow her right now in front of your mother and God.
Me smash you.
And God.
How'd you like to inherit this in?
I'm able to build a log cabin. I love the cabins and logs.
Damn, me too.
Is she deaf?
What is
She said, my favorite lube is maple syrup.
Oh no.
Her favorite movie?
Her favorite lube
Lube.
is Mapes.
Oh, okay. Somehow that's not as bad.
All right, what do you say to her? She's like,
I have a
I
question.
got a nice
about,
girl for you.
I have a question about Hilda Royhan.
Yeah.
Colin, how much of like a hike, I guess, is it to the spot where I met the Green Lady?
It's right. Not that.
It's on the beach.
It's not that far. Not on the beach, technically. It's in the forest.
If I were like, hey, do you want to go on a walk with me to this place that's
Do you want to go see where I got cursed?
You want to?
You want to see where I saw God?
Well, you want to? Elin, you want to know where I got tuberculosis? I can show you.
Not necessarily that, but I'm just gonna say, will you go on a walk with me?
I met a god. You met a god? Yeah, it was awful.
All right,
A place that I like to. That I like to go.
Your mom's like, I've got a nice girl for you. You should talk to her. She's nice. And to her credit, she introduces you to Sarah. She is pretty, in a plain sort of way. She's not gonna be, some exotic beauty. She's not some exotic beauty. She's just got, sandy blonde hair, sort of rough tan skinned, a lot of freckles on her face, but it doesn't look like someone threw shit at her through a screen door. So it's, it's not like wild. Whenever you first meet, you have to work with her throughout the day, as you're busy preparing bread and preparing soup. And at that time, she is like singularly kind of driven on the task at hand. She's friendly, but she's always very focused on getting things done, and she wants them to be done as well as she can, considering this particular circumstances that you're in. It's only afterwards, whenever you're able to make sort of more friendly talk, besides like, I need a cup of flour, I need a half pound of dried yams, whatever you're fucking serving, I don't know. It's only afterwards that she's able to dust the flour off her hands. She's covered in, flour. Part of her hair is singed, but she sort of looks at you and she sort of smiles a crooked smile, and you see her teeth are a little bit crooked, but they're not rotten, so that's pretty good for medieval times.
Is the day ending? Is the line thinning out?
It's you've done your work for the day. Your mother and father they're not closing the inn and tavern, but they're closing it to the free stuff. Now it's like, congratulations, you have to pay to come in. You get the good stuff. Yeah. And now it's when they serve alcohol and wine and things.
Okay. I ask her, would you accompany me to a place? Was it in a forest or on a beach?
The place you inherited that was actually at the shrine. But that's in the forest.
A place in the forest where I like to clear my head.
She sort of smiles and she sort of nods her head.
I want Bob Dylan up on stage.
Who
the fuck are you?
I hold out my hand and ask her to accompany me, and I offer to hold her hand the way down.
This is the worst date ever.
Well, I mean,
You suck! You suck!
Why would you say that? I'm trying here.
I walked Bob Dylan out on stage!
Vinta!
I do the Rolling Stones!
Vinta, did you take her to the Holocaust Museum? What's wrong with you?
Holy shit!
I thought it was just like a quiet place in the forest.
Yeah, the Holocaust.
Yeah, the problem is it's supposed to be a quiet place, but your shitty trumpet playing is ruining it.
Oh no!
Oh my fucking god!
Max having no idea what we're talking about is just better.
Did he not look through the damn messages?
No, Max is completely unaware.
What? No, I've been.
We can tell
You
that you're
suck!
aware because
You
of the
suck!
concern in your
Oh, that guy?
Yeah, that
The
guy.
weird, short little bald the ugly little motherfucker. Yeah,
You
I
suck!
saw that. I watched that video. Oh, I just didn't.
That's
what the
what
fuck?
the sound thing is from.
Oh yeah.
She says, she sort of smiles and she says, I've got a better offer. How about I take you there?
Oh, damn.
Sure.
And she's gonna take your hand and lead you.
A close-up of Venta's pants right now.
Hell yeah.
That's Venta right there. Beyblade, let it rip.
No!
Oh, jeez.
She is quite small. She's probably only 5'2", 5'3", but she like grabs your hand and starts pulling you along. As she says, you know, she sort of laughs and says, your mom told me about you, and I thought I'd do her a favor by hanging out with you, but I gotta say, pretty tall.
Yeah.
Guys, that's all it takes.
Found the courage to stand up a little straighter these days.
Oh shit, that's good.
She sort of smiles at you and she says, well, if there was ever a need for a time of courageous people, now's the time.
The world's a scary place out there.
Oh, so I've heard. I'm afraid, much to my shame, I've not been very far off the island for most of my life. Little more than vacations on the mainland every few years.
Where'd you go? One specific time? Do you have family there?
She says, we had family in Veskermund. It was more of like, I mean, they were family, but we've traveled there more out of like a trade deal in a way to make sure that the family's warehouses and boats were in order. It was a vacation, well, at least father called it, but I found that I spent more time walking the filthy wharfs with the stink of fish in the air than enjoying the countryside, what little there was around a city like Veskermund. Theodoroyhan is my home.
It is beautiful here, and the world is, as I'm learning, a big place.
I'd kind of like to see it one day.
I've only been out for so long, but I don't know. Every time I go somewhere new, it just gets that much bigger.
She said, she's sort of leading you along. She looks back and smiles, and she says, well, then I want you to tell me about it, although I can't promise that I'll be impressed.
Well, there was this one place where we had to, there was a dragon in a lake that was, my friend was hunting, and we had to do this crazy deal with these like political factions and leaders, and through this insane bargain we jumped into the bottom of the lake and fought a monster down there.
I'm gonna create the great wall of beer bottles.
Thanks, Colin.
She says, she kind of says that, I mean, I've heard more impressive tales, but not first-hand accounts, to tell you the truth. Legends and the like. It sounds like you've been on quite a journey.
Yeah, I've been all around. Not every place is so chaotic or violent. There was that same friend, he's from a place called the Coldwood. It's quiet there. It's peaceful.
Oh, I saw that on a map. She sort of says, I really love maps. The idea that there's so much out there that's, well.
Would you believe that Venta actually has cartography tools, cartographer's tools? I'm proficient with them.
My God, that's so convenient.
I like maps too.
She loves maps, and she loves. She talks about. I love the idea that there's like places out there that maybe no one's ever seen. You know, that there's great falls and vast deserts and forests unlike anything that we've ever seen. Just the idea that it's out there, she's sort of
in the desert?
like all over the place. The idea that there's just places out there that no one's
in
ever
the desert,
seen.
It's crazy. They have ants, big ones.
Like how big?
Like way too big. Like if you don't watch where you step, they might take your foot.
My God, just like diabetes.
Fucking Venta is racist.
Whoa! I knew that though.
I say I'm just kidding. They're actually quite friendly. One of them has become a dear friend of mine.
It is also much better with maps than you are.
Yes.
My
also
token
an
ant
excellent
She
friend.
doesn't need to know that. She doesn't need to know that.
My
Like,
token
tell me
ant
more
friend.
about your ant friend.
Wow, she sounds really cool.
I just
Hey,
Don't worry.
I
There's
can't
like
be
nothing going on between
racist.
us. It's okay.
I can't be racist. My friend is ant.
I've never scissored with a carapace before.
I'm glad Connor wasn't here to hear that.
Cannot recommend
Hey.
that.
Connor's here, so I can say it
Let me get
again.
that Thor
Connor,
axe.
no,
say it
we want to
again.
hear a completely reaction or a reaction completely unseen to this line. I've never scissored with a carapace before. Oh no,
Unfazed.
Yeah, that's fair.
unfazed. She
mean, I would.
is. She loves. You find that she likes maps. She likes cartography. She likes the idea of exploring. She's been on the Ile de Royhand. She has been to Veskermund, but she's never been to the Untamed World. And you're able to provide her stories that fascinate her, of places that she could have only read about in books. And it does seem, whenever you mention like some of the big places, like when you talk about like Parzula or Shendo, she has vague ideas of it because she read about them in books, and she is a voracious reader. But you're able to give her like details that just fascinate her. As you sit in the shrine to the Green Lady, she does not talk a lot about herself. And honestly, she doesn't ask a lot of questions about you. At the very least, she just seems really, like, fascinated with the world that she has not seen and kind of longs to.
Where are we, Colin?
You're on the Ile de Royhan.
How much longer do we? Well, no, like, what? Like,
You're
are
on
we
the
on a
Ile
beach,
de
in the
Royhan.
forest? Whoa! God damn it! I knew I'm in the Ile de Royhan. I'm asking. I know I'm in the Isle, in Ile de Royhan.
Oh my God.
Are we on a beach?
Would
in
you
the
go into, like,
forest,
a
or
shrine
does
or
she end up
something?
You're in the
taking us?
forest. You're at
Oh,
the
we're
You're at
the
the
place
shrine.
that you
Oh,
inherited the Green Lady's sickness was at the shrine, which was in the
Okay.
forest, which is at the base of the mountain, which is not on the coast.
She said,
Although
"Let me
it's
take you
basically
there," and I
close
wasn't
enough
sure
to the
if
coast,
she
essentially.
knew
It's not a
and
big
Was
island.
just going somewhere random. I don't know. Okay, got it cleared up. Thank you.
It's a lot nicer now than whenever you got space aids.
How much longer do we have until we have to go? Ito and I.
Several days.
You're an adult. Oh.
Oh,
Technically, you could decide never to go again, and you can play Joseph Smoke.
I could. No, I'm staying here, Mom. You got your wish. All right. I'm gonna put these level 20 fighter skills to no use.
Joseph Smoke has to go back to whatever level he is right now. Did you level him
damn
up?
it. No.
Oh,
Shit.
too bad. He's level like 14.
No, damn it. No. I leveled him up for when he went to hell.
Oh, he's level 17.
Joseph Smoke goes to hell.
Joseph Smoke's level
Again.
17, so
Again.
Yeah. Again. Did
he leave his keys or something?
Beaver, that
I
took me a
want
minute, but it's really
to-
good. Ah, yes, the Mason journey.
I want to take one of the scales from my Cloak of Bernesh. Just like pop off one of the scales on the edge. I want to give it to her. And I say that I can't stay forever. But it's
Oh,
lovely to
shit.
share this night with you. I will be back, and I will see you again.
She
Yeah,
kind
you
of
Better have,
Smooth
you better
Venta.
have this when I return.
she kind of blushes. And she says, why, Venta True Cloud, are you trying to get on my good side?
Is it working?
Oh shit.
Well, it's not working.
Smooth operator.
That's good enough for me.
I'll make a deal with you. I'll take this scale, and I'll hold it until you come back. But a trade.
Okay.
Whenever you come back, I want another story. The most impressive story that you have of a wide, incredible world. Something that will keep me satisfied for years to come. Do you think you
So
can
it's not-
satisfy me for years to come, Venta True Cloud?
Heyo.
Well, I still have some life worth living. I'd love to try.
I'm gonna be honest, lady.
Venta's like, man, this is a Wendy's.
Bam, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've got an apocalyptic battle to go to. I might not be coming back, so this could all
Nah,
be
I'm
for
coming back.
naught.
I'm
Venta was
coming back.
Venta's also like, boys would be like, I know a place. Did they take you to church?
Shit.
He literally did though.
I know.
She she takes
Max
the
should have been
scale,
like,
and
I
for
don't want to disappoint you, but I have autism.
for a moment, Venta, you think she's gonna lean in and kiss you, but instead, she kisses you on the cheek and she says, whispers in your ear, "I'll be holding this until you come back." He sort of smiles and stands up and
And
tucks
then
it
grabs
into a
your cock.
pocket.
Yeah, I was gonna say. She walks away, and your dick is gone.
Max, wait, you missed the chance though. When she asked you the things you've done, you should have said, "I've seen the eye of horror," and we will.
I was flipping bricks for Mansa Musa before y'all were even a Type 1 civilization.
I was making it rain diamonds under the pyramids of Giza.
He hands her. Vincent pulls out
Max,
the scale.
do the
and she
one-
says,
do the
I
thing-
don't care if I go blind. I don't need to see the price.
Max, do
tag."
the one with the Givenchy
saying.
gloves.
You get choke out a jet with a pair of Givenchy gloves. Last thing he saw was the price tag.
The last
Max,
scene is so
Do you
good.
think Bernie Sanders could do the Dracula flow?
Do it.
Max is,
Fuck.
Max is
Okay.
gonna be like, what's his name? The queen's gonna step to me. I'm gonna make her an example.
Step to me, Jet, and I'll make you into an example.
It's so fucking good.
No.
It's good.
I'm
I don't
getting the
care.
lyrics. Max, just do the whole thing.
Choke them
Oh my god.
out with some Givenchy gloves.
All
last thing he saw
right, all
was-
right. We don't have time to do the entirety of Dracula Flow 3 in the voice of Bernie Sanders.
Max,
Yeah,
you
we do.
No,
Yeah,
we don't. No, we
After
don't. It's
the
already.
fucking game we
Do it
do.
at. You can listen to him. Do it afterwards. It's 7
You
o'clock.
could have said that when the dude killed you, that you let the archangels take you. You could have done that one as well.
It's 7 o'clock. If you want to listen to Max do Bernie Sanders impressions afterwards, it's all night. He'll be around. He'll probably be playing Dark Tide or something, hoping to get a lucky roll on the fucking shop because nobody ever does.
I got a couple good pistols.
only-
I want to look for another one though.
The only
Alright.
Bernie Sanders impression I want is this one.
All right. I mean, that's what they call season the means of reproduction. You find that she, like I said, she doesn't throw herself at you. She's kind of coy, but she does seem at least interested. You're not sure if she's interested in you or your stories, though. But it could be both. You know? Max, what are you fucking looking at?
Oh, my girlfriend's playing Fortnite. I'm just observing.
I thought you were looking at like a cat.
Okay.
Do you have a cat that's your girlfriend?
No, I do have a cat. He's outside right now though.
I know you have a fat New Zealand roommate. That's all I know that you have for sure.
Yeah, I do have. My girlfriend is in the room though. She's playing Fortnite with her friends. I think.
When's your
I think
fat?
she is playing Fortnite with my roommate, or at least not anymore.
I was gonna say, when are you gonna show your fat New Zealand roommate so we can make fun of her?
I don't have any pictures of her.
She looks like New Zealand. Wow, I'm not surprised to see another flightless bird.
Is it because she doesn't fit within the camera lens?
No, that's fucked up.
Jeez.
Holy shit.
If she walks onto the screen, is it gonna look like there's a blimp landing?
No, we used panorama. It worked.
That is so fucked up.
I heard they cast her as an extra in the new Godzilla show.
Wow. Colin?
Yeah.
Before I leave to go help raise Hospital,
Before I leave
help
to
raise him.
raise an elder god.
It's not an elder god, it's a primordial god.
I
Is that
go
Older?
to Chick-All in Boom Boom,
Yep, Chikal and Boom Boom.
and I tell them I have a request of them.
That's good. Chikal and Boom Boom have not been having the greatest of times, cause ever since fucking what's her name? Jean Long ripped open one of their animals to read their intestines.
Yeah.
God.
That's one of the reasons why I was like, you know what, Jin Long's not gonna come with you.
Okay. So I need you both to go back to Beaz, and I need you to search for a hive that has been abandoned.
Vampire hive.
I'll roll a history check.
Lord. Oh, 1 sec.
Do you have +10? For being
I'll
within
roll a
50
history
though?
check, or tell me about a hive that has been abandoned.
Tell you about a hive that has been abandoned.
There has been mention of an abandoned hive before.
God, I cannot remember. Fuck you. I use my wings. I commune. It's a different day. I commune.
I mean, that's fair enough.
The abandoned hive is on Klaus's backside.
Oh.
Oh, that's not good. That's just unfortunate.
That's gross.
No wonder why it itches.
I will go ahead and do a history check, but I'm also going to do a what should we call it? Why won't it roll?
You.
Sweet.
Oh, it's
fucking
because
Christ.
your character sheet is always fucked up for some reason.
I mean, it's a +0. I'll just fucking roll a d20. 12.
Yeah, for some reason yours always comes up as in a inn, and it's like so it just has no numbers for some reason when you try to
probably-
import it.
It's probably because of the fucking druid class that I have.
It does fix whenever I re-import it, but it has to be done literally every game.
That's retarded. It did need to be re-imported because I leveled to 20, but yeah.
All right. Whenever you
Oh
unfurl,
no, it's +6, so that's an 18.
whenever you unfurl your wings, it shows. You can see that your wings are a field of shining, glittering scales. And with an 18, just looking at that, it sort of hits you. You read about a hive that had been abandoned, that had been scooped out, that had been essentially conquered by a brass dragon named Iskelion that is on the coast of Beaz Kumlahar. There is a hive, an empty hive, for the most part. However, there is a brass dragon that lives in it. Now, brass dragons are not evil, necessarily.
It's Burnesh.
No, it has a name. It's Iskelion. It's in the Encyclopedia Draconica.
Anybody else hear that?
Yeah, I did too.
Okay.
I was wondering who pressed the button.
There is indeed a completely empty hive on the coast of Beaz Kumlahar. It's just you would have to make a deal with a dragon or defeat a dragon to clear it out.
Make that a prologue thing, and it just gets to happen. It just happens, you know, because we're like level 20. We can do that.
Well,
That's not
it's
what prologue
that's
means.
not what that means.
Epilogue.
But you have no clue why he cleared it out, or if he's even there. still.
I would have them go. And I will write a note for them to take with them that I would like to speak.
Okay. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward.
And if need be, I just have Aruna send them as close as Aruna can get them.
I like it. And I'm even gonna fast forward a little bit because Escelion is not evil. Escelion is not gonna blast him with fire. Escelion has, you learn, has a very particular horde. Whenever
Bees.
Chakal and Boom Boom return, they are actually quite happy. As Escelion has, it's not that he's transformed the hive or completely hollowed it out, but the innermost, they tell you that the innermost, like the deepest, like egg breeding chamber, because every hive has multiple breeding chambers, where they have eggs and things. He's turned the deepest one into the most incredible, like, kitchen that has ever been created. Ranges, all sorts of different cooking implements that hang from the ceiling. Escelion is a chef. No, chef is not the right word. He is an artist, a culinary artist. And his hoard is...
Yeah, gourmand.
His hoard is spices and rare and exotic ingredients.
Fuck the end of this campaign. Let's go hang with this guy.
And that is...
Thanksgiving every day.
And Escelion brought in Chick-All and Boom Boom. He fed them way too much food. Food that he had never even heard of. As Escelion fed them from, he said, these come from the primordial lands across the ocean, as he sort of has all sorts of spices. So his hoard is cooking implements. He is a chef. However, he was also a bit reluctant with the idea of allowing people or things to move in. But you did learn at least about him. Guy loves to cook.
Then did he say he would be willing to speak?
Of course. But only if it was at a dinner party so we could prepare it.
He's eating ant people.
They would have been driven out long ago, so.
I tell them to take word back that we are about to have a grand final battle against, honestly, a bitch and one of his cousins. And that we would be happy to have him do our final feast and we could speak then. And
Okay.
I send them back.
Oh boy, it's all fun and games, so he keeps Chick-All and Boom Boom as ingredients.
I mean, look.
I was about to say.
Like I've not, in all these years, I've never cooked with the Thri-Kreen before.
Nah, that's not true. He probably has. Cleared out a fucking hive.
It's like when you have like those crazy Chinese street vendors that have like fried tarantulas. It's like that.
It's true. He like I
Those are
said,
really
it's not a like I said, he's surprisingly he's pretty friendly for the most part. He sends Chick-All and Boom Boom back with a very happy of course I will serve you. In fact, you'd be downright foolish to go anywhere else for a victory feast. If you're gonna have a victory feast, it might as well be with the best. And I am the best.
Oh, fantastic.
Until then, Chickall and Boom Boom are more than welcome to come to and fro. They can raid the larders as they see fit.
I'm glad they've made a friend. But yeah, I guess we'll, until that time comes, we go with Klaus to do the thing.
All right.
Yeah, let's do the same.
All right, Cody, you have Tommy's number? Tell him that I hate him.
Okay. I'm texting him right now. Let's see. Tommy. Colin says, I hate you.
Yep. I like Shelby fine. She's probably awesome, but Tommy sucks.
Probably awesome. Tommy sucks.
It's like you gotta get the whole message in.
Okay, I'll send it to him.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you,
It's not
Cody.
sure.
All right. We got.
He said, he responded.
Oh shit.
He said,
Wow.
Damn, that was quick.
I guess the date's going well.
Like what the fuck? He's sitting on his phone. What the fuck?
Yeah. He said, good. Good.
That son of a bitch. I'm gonna drive to West Virginia and put my balls in his mouth. All right.
He said, He said, I want our game to finish eventually, so I would have liked to be there. And then a smiley
Fuck
face
off.
with a big nose.
Well, it doesn't matter because he's not here, but Aruna is. So, all right.
Yep.
Oh shit!
You-
Colin just
And you know what's fun is Klaus ain't gonna be here next week to make it more interesting.
Why not?
I'm
He's gonna be
to
at
a
the
Cancer game.
yeah. He's going to the Panthers game.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Panthers Bucks.
I expect you.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be
Even so,
great.
you should have your phone on you to update us in real time about how shit it
can't.
is.
I will.
I cannot
will.
believe you're
Don't
missing
worry.
this for that.
Next week is gonna be.
Dude, just have Discord on and
Now hang on. In all fairness, we bought these tickets in August.
I will be saying,
We
in
are.
all fairness, next week is going to be a short session. You are going to have I'm going to have a battlefield map, and you're going to be deploying troops on a battlefield.
Interesting.
Because it starts the final battle starts with a macro view where you're having to deploy your troops and yourselves to various different objectives to win them, or lose them. And if you
Whichever you decide.
it depends, because you won't die in these fights. Even if you're defeated, even if you were knocked down to 0, you would not die. You'd be pulled off the battlefield, but you would not have these objectives. Now, I will admit, the objectives do not give you any bonuses. It's more like they don't. If you win, the opposing side doesn't get any bonuses. If you win, it's like flat even. If they win, they get a bonus. Which in and of itself,
you just take over
in and of
Australia
itself-
first. It's the easiest defensible position.
in and of itself, that is a bonus, in that you deny them some sort of advantage. But I think I'm going to break it. Like, I haven't decided how I'm going to break it up yet, but I want it to be in groups of 2 or 3 with your troops. And so there'll be like a macro and then a micro, essentially. And those are the because this is all going to take place over the same like day, because these are the fights that drain resources leading up to the final battle. Because if you go into like any battle with full resources, you're probably just gonna blast them fucking down. You know, you're at that level. But that's next week. It'll be like a macro planning week. So it should be kind of short, actually. Now, you send word back to Escelion. Like I said, he's happy with it. That's fine. Then you plan to go with Klaus. Who all... Is Karakwa... you know what? Is Karakwa doing... Like, Karakwa and Henley, are you doing anything? Or I'll even start. Karakwa, are you doing anything? Henley might have stuff thrust upon him.
Oh. I see he's with Adelaide again.
I mean, that is sort of the thing.
Yeah, I mean, you know, what's kind of like the general vibe of like where we're at? Because I know we met on like that little island place, and like there's been like raiders and stuff that have been like in the area, but it hasn't been like disastrous or anything. It's just been kind of like, you know, hey, we're taking care of it somehow.
Yeah. All right.
Do they? Okay. All right.
You'll
Do
talk.
they need any help?
You'll talk. You'll talk to Abigail when she arrives.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fair.
No, but I was completely. What did you say?
Fuck you.
No, I was like, my headphones kept cutting out.
It's nothing. I was just asking if there was anything that needed help doing specifically, because everyone's kind of just, you know, on edge and hanging out here, but, you know.
Roll a.
You can't make me.
Roll a nature check.
Yeah, fuck. Come on, baby. I rolled a 16.
At this point, you have.
Oh, it's so bad at this.
So your tree stride tree has developed to the point that now, as you look at it, it almost feels stunted, as if it needs to grow.
You mean the one on the airship
Yep.
specifically?
Yep.
Or okay.
The one on the airship. As it has roots in a shallow pot, and you can see it's ready to burst out. It's grown big enough for the tree stride, but currently it feels like it wants. You know, you can almost feel like it needs a larger purpose, something greater. It's ready to like burst out of the little pot that or it's not a pot, you know, but the small area that it's in.
I wonder if I could possibly shape where it's planted on the airship, like passages for the roots to keep going out through. Eventually, like trail out underneath the ship too. Eventually, or if it just needs to be a larger area, or maybe it just needs to be a new tree.
Well,
Maybe
you
this
know,
tree has...
you get the feeling that not necessarily be a new tree, but it feels like it's the tree itself wants to. You get the feeling it's almost like someone that wants to stretch its legs.
As you know, trees love to go around and walk, so.
Not necessarily walk, but like move. It needs to extend its roots. Yeah, gotta extend its roots.
I understand.
You're a druid.
Realistically, what could be changed on the ship to accommodate that better?
You can talk to Nipsey.
All right, Nipsey, what do you think?
If you come to her and she says, well, sort of says, scratches her head, and she sort of says, I mean, I'm not exactly like I said, if it needs to spread out its roots, I guess we can make it like a bigger patch, but to tell you the truth, I always worked with like metal and wood and stone. I never worked with like living things. I don't know exactly how we need to spread out. I mean, if they just needed the roots to spread out, I mean, they could spread out wherever they want to, as long as they're not like impeding people's travel. Like if they went across the ceiling and wrapped themselves around the ship, I wouldn't have any problem with that. I don't think it would inhibit the function of the airship.
You know, Nipsey, I might have just thought of something.
Well, if we can accommodate you, me and Carrington will, right, Carrington? Carrington sort of says, Carrington.
Yes.
He always has the wisest words.
I have an idea for something.
Well,
But
I'm an
I've
engineer.
never personally... Karaka's never personally done this before. But thinking about it, maybe something like this could be done. could we possibly turn the tree into a treant and make it a living ship? The tree is part of the ship is part of the tree.
Well, she sort of says, scratches her head. I mean, I only know the engineering side of it. That's out of my purview, but I sort of says, it'd have to have, I mean, roots are kind of like fingers and hands, right? In a way?
Sort of. It's a little bit more complicated than that.
I guess
yes.
if it could spread, like, roots out to the engine, maybe.
How, not to Nipsey, but to Colin.
Yeah.
How realistic of a thing is that possible? I'm not, like, Cody does not know the process of creating a treant or anything like that, but Karaka might.
You know, at your level, you could probably pull it off. It also depends on what exactly you want it to do. You don't think Nipsey would just want to give control completely over to to a treant of the airship, but some help, she might be welcome that, and you could
think about it like this:
awaken a tree.
Like this, Nipsey. Imagine if the ship, when damaged, could repair itself over time on its own.
That is true. That would be quite useful.
Oh, the ship gets like weird scar tissue that looks like tree roots.
Shh! Don't tell her that. She'll say no.
I'm not there. I'm not there. I'm just like This is Max getting excited because that's cool.
Vincent, you're killing the vibe. Go away, dude. Crocker like this, running over here when she's not looking.
It would be pretty useful.
I've talked to treants before, and they are their own living thing, but I think it could also be done where it's not just its own. We're not taking Carrington's soul and shoving it into a tree. Shut up.
Oh no.
No.
Carrington doesn't have a
What if
soul.
we took all the automaton souls and put them over there?
Alright, but it's an interesting concept, an interesting idea, one that has merit. As the tree itself is veritably ready to burst out, and you know, it could run its roots out to the elemental engine across the ship. It'd be like sensors, it'd be like antenna almost, to sense problems on the ship, and be able to rapidly like repair them as best as it could. Things like that. Well, the treant, like I said, Nipsey does not want to give up control of the ship. But things like a treant healing the ship, you know, stoking the engines, that'd be something pretty interesting.
How does one go about creating, I'm putting in air quotes, creating a treant then?
Well, you've already got the tree, I guess.
You have a tree, I guess.
I suppose.
It's one that Karakwa and others have cared for and raised from a seedling, so...
You could... I'm going off your same nature check. You could cast Awaken to give it the tree an intelligence score of 10. As well as if it's a tree, it gains the ability to move its limbs, roots, vines, and creepers, and it gains senses similar to a human's. If you cast Awaken on the tree.
How long does that last?
I would let it last. If you use to cast a 9th level spell slot, I'll let it be a permanent fixture. Which, you know, consider you're traveling for a month. 9th level spell slot's not a big deal.
Think of this before.
That being said, it would cost you 1,000 gold pieces.
That's understandable.
Which you also have access to a lot of money, so it's...
Well, I'm sure someone on this ship has an agat worth at least 1,000 gold pieces.
You know, for that sort of thing, I'm just just take off 1,000 gold pieces, and that.
No, I like to imagine Kurako going through like Reed's treasure chest, be like, he's gotta here somewhere. Where the fuck is it? I saw it.
He uses it to cover his booty hole.
You find
No!
it. You find it.
He's already converted it.
You find it in Adelaide's personal chest, but she's like, "Well, you're gonna have to pay that back." She says, "Luckily, that's one of the less valuable pieces of jewelry that I have."
Why is it slimy?
Why is it slimy? Don't ask questions you don't want the answers to.
She also uses it to cover her booty hole.
Does it smell like booty hole?
Look, you're not the only person here that has awakened a tree, but my trunk is named Henley, so go about your business.
God damn it.
What, are you jealous? I was like, Henley has a 16-inch cock.
Kurako just goes, no, he doesn't.
But
He
only
walks
is
away.
only
And then as he's walking away, he's thinking, holy shit, does Henley have a 16-inch cock?
only when he's raging.
Oh no.
It's like a tube of tennis balls.
You ever seen an entire? Have you ever seen an entire?
Dick is like 2 Pringles cans stacked on top of each other.
Have you ever seen an
Christ.
entire uncured salami?
Oh my god.
It's like
so
that.
you got advantage on that strength check.
Including the casing.
Yeah. Adelaide's got to make a strength check to lift it.
I've been with ambassadors from Beaz Kumlahar to Jin Ma Dynasty.
Oh my god. Word
But
around
yeah,
the
no,
air,
she. You can just take off 1,000 gold pieces.
Fuck you, okay.
You have so much money. Who fucking cares?
I know, it's funny.
Alright, I cast a 9th level spell. It will permanently awaken the tree on the boat itself. And it will extend its roots underneath the deck, but along the ceiling to wrap itself, and it sort of deposits itself around the gears of the elemental engine, as well as spanning out to wrap it. You can see there are roots that run along the side of the ship itself. They almost provide armor in a sense to the airship.
Is the treant's name Skyweaver?
I was about
But
to ask,
the treant does.
how do we name the treant?
The treant does awaken.
Flyleaf.
It has the
Name it
ability.
Flyleaf.
It does have the ability.
Can we not name it after a...
It does have the
shitty
ability
name
to
with
speak
bad
a
people in
language
it?
that you know.
Did you see it does speak a language that we know?
What band?
Flyleaf.
Oh,
It does, but it does speak a language that you know.
a shitty
Well, I
band
guess-
with shittier people.
I guess we would go with common. I could be a dick and say druidic, but we'll go with common.
I mean, druidic is flavorful, so.
It is, but then
Then Nipsey can't talk to it, which will probably be an issue.
she'd be like, you motherfucker every time she sees me.
It would not prevent Nipsey from trying, though.
Oh, wow! I never noticed how big the world was.
For a minute, I thought Colin was doing a Jennifer Coolidge.
Why?
The
Why
tree-
would you think that?
The
Just the way
tree's
he
name
said,
is
"Oh, wow."
Jennifer now.
Oh wow!
Wow! What a big world! What a big, beautiful world it is! I've got so much room to stretch my limbs.
I need a taco real bad.
Makes me want a hot dog real bad.
Okay, I'm sorry. Continue.
No, it's too
I
late
never-
now.
I never even knew what it was like to be able to stretch like this. Smell that air?
Alright. Question for Colin, real quick, right now.
Yep,
Does it have a name or are we naming it?
you're naming it. Doesn't have a
God
name.
damn it.
Jennifer.
Coolidge.
Oh my god.
I mean, I was honestly thinking we just stick with the name of the ship because it's already,
My
got a
name? I don't have a name. You know, if I had a name, it would sound like this, and some of the petals fall from its trees.
We should name the ship the Nipsey Hustle.
Hmm.
I think Nipsey should get a word in this too. It is her ship.
I mean, if we were naming it, I guess we just name it the boat. If it's whenever things are hectic, I'm probably not gonna think of a particular name. If I want things done on the boat, I'm just gonna call it the boat.
How about Car Ramrod?
That sounds like a
No.
porn name.
No. Rick's not allowed to name anything now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll just put the Super Troopers reference in my back pocket from now on.
I want to name you something after one of my favorite authors. Let me look up H.P. Lovecraft's cat.
No.
No, just go with Mark Twain. That's okay.
All right, let me look up Huckleberry Finn.
Oh no. I'm sure he had a good friend. What was his friend's name?
Like, it's basically like it's like it's piloting a raft with me. If Huckleberry Finn had someone piloting a raft, what would his name be? But no, she says,
if the tree says it doesn't make it okay.
like if it's just like if it's like in a way part of the ship, and I'm like trying to tell it to do things, it'd be like I don't want to tell it what name it should have, but it'd be nice to have it like to just say like boat or Skyweaver, or in the heat of the moment if I'm not thinking clearly.
How about Jimbo?
Jim Boat.
Oh no.
Jimbo.
I'd be okay with that.
Wood Carrington.
I'm joking. Just name it Skyweaver. It's easier.
It's a pretty name. You did come up with the name, the boat.
That's true.
And it is now the boat. And the boat is now it.
They're one and the same. If the boat goes down, I don't imagine the tree would fare very well.
Probably not.
Well, your name is Skyweaver then.
The Skyweaver it is. It is a pretty name. It is the boat. The boat is it.
All right. Nipsey also goes and puts her hand on the trunk. I never really
Weaver.
I never really felt a connection with nature, but now that you're part of the boat, well, I feel weirdly attached to you already.
Now where's the HDMI going?
Carrington, water Skyweaver. Carrington, as he goes and he gets some water and he dumps it on the Skyweaver. She seemed
that
thirsty. I mean, not particularly. It doesn't do anything.
it.
She seemed thirsty. Look, we're gonna take care of you. We're gonna take care of the tree, Karakwa.
Oh no. Oh. I'm sure we'll hope.
All right.
I can't believe I didn't think of this earlier.
I gotta pee real fast, but we'll be right back. All right. We've had some poignant moments, and that's important. Like I said, the whole point of this these couple role-playing sessions was to really, in a way, set stakes. To see what you're fighting for, who you're fighting for. Oftentimes,
What am I fighting for?
Karakwa, you're fighting for the good of the world.
Oh
You
my
know,
God.
what good is nature going to be if it's going to be frozen over?
Cold.
Yeah, well, shut up.
You don't want to see Bozo froze over?
Oh wait, we have a soundboard for that.
I want Bob Dylan up on stage. Who the fuck?
I think I muted myself because I'm not hearing.
Wonder if Bob Dylan has any thoughts on that
Bob Dylan's like,
video.
what if Bob Dylan was like, yeah, I remember that guy. He was a real asshole.
Douglas Levinson.
Yeah, fuck
That's
him.
my man.
All right. Point is, continuing onwards, you spend time with what loved ones you can find, what companionships you can find. Some of them more intimate and closer than others. On the Ile de Royhan, you spend, like I said, Max, I just saw a ghost behind you. Was that a black-eyed child? My God.
That was just Babs.
Is Babs a black-eyed child?
I don't think so.
Ask her.
I'll ask her when she comes back.
Okay. Because I've heard about black-eyed children, so I know they're like a thing that exists, and the Men in Black and stuff. you have spent time with loved ones, with companions, learning about, like I said, the things that you know that you're fighting, but it also reinforces why you're fighting and what you're fighting for. Futures, children, love, nature, vampires, that sort of thing. So over the course of the month, you spend time doing that. Like I said, Henley is able to talk with like Crowder. He's able to Croc, we were able to talk like with like the twins and things like that.
Yeah.
However, eventually you have to return to the airship. You find that you're able to commiserate in Basilicus's bar. That you're able to drown your longings with alcohol. Many of you probably, perhaps, like maybe Venta thinks about Sarah. You've not known her. Are you gonna ask her, Cody? Or or Max? Was that her? Is she a black-eyed child?
He turned off the mic.
He's a fucking coward. I've read about them on the internet. Black-eyed children will come up to your car and they'll ask you if you can.
She says yes.
Oh my god! Why'd you fucking let her inside?
She's on the lease. She's on the lease.
The black-eyed children. The black-eyed children ask for entrance, and then whenever you get in, they get entrance. They kill you. You're dead, Max.
Fantastic! I cannot wait to shirk off this mortal coil.
Anyways, like I said, you have time to spend. You spend a month and you meet your people. You talk to your people. Max, you are introduced to this lovely new woman named Sarah. She's bright-eyed and adventurous, perhaps a little bit too adventurous. She likes you. She does. You get the feeling she's almost more interested in your stories than you. But you are your stories. You are the experiences of your life, and you've seen a lot more than probably anyone here except maybe Ito has seen, And he's already married. What's she gonna do,
Yeah.
Twice.
That's true. He's already been married twice, and he's also old. She's like 19, She's pretty young. She's around Venta's age.
Damn.
For that matter, she's also probably too unattractive for Ito. Compared to his current wife, Amelia is a noble beauty, so. But as attractive as Adelindra, so,
Amelia is no.
Amelia
is she a full Aasimar?
Yes.
Okay, I couldn't remember. I
She
remember
is
her family was.
She is a noble beauty. Like I said, she is statuesque and conventionally attractive, like a marble goddess in a way.
Did Connor just call her Amelia Escobar?
No.
She loves cocaine.
I thought I heard that, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Amelia is an SMR of incredible, like traditional beauty. Almost traditional beauty. She's statuesque. She's almost like a really pretty Tilda Swinton in a way. To imagine her, that works. That's kind of what I was imagining anyway. That sort of bearing. It's almost cold, but in a way not. It's hard to explain.
No, I gotcha.
Sarah, on the other hand, for you, you Max, is much more down to earth. And like I said, she seems very interested in your stories. She almost feel like she's more interested in your tales of the world than you, but you are the tales of the world. You've been there and seen it. It's not like you're making shit up. You've experienced it. You are those tales.
In the Coldwood.
and she grows a very fond attachment to you. She's not like throwing herself at you. It's not like she's lifting up that skirt already, but she likes spending time around you. You spend a lot of time in the bakery. She picks up extra shifts just to be around you and talk to you. And while you're baking bread, you tell her about what she's seen, and she asks you questions. She's always asking questions. A very inquisitive mind.
Nice.
Unfortunately, all, your young love kind of has to come to an end. Or at least a pause.
Got wars to fight.
You've got wars to fight. You've got an airship to return to. Eventually, Ito, do you, go find him whenever you realize, it's time to go back?
So Ito is pretty much doing, just a rote routine, just burning through every spell slot every single day that he can, helping wherever he can, pretty much forgetting that he's a nobleman every day.
It's nice because people also don't know that you're a nobleman.
Yep, it's rad. It is literally the best. And
Connor,
I think he would probably wait for Venta to come get him.
About 4 years ago, I asked you about the concept of noblesse oblige. I say you fulfilled that pretty well whenever we talked about it.
Oh, yeah. No, that's
a noble's obligation.
Yeah, that's the forefront of Ito's whole deal.
You spend time in and amongst the people. And the thing is, it feels like you're trying to dam a river, and it's impossible to do it forever, but it's a fight. It's something that you stem the tide of as best you can. You're not going to be able to stop disease. Everything is packed in. You're not going to be able to stop starvation. Supplies are so scant. But you stem the tide as you can. What you can offer, you do. Your mind is drawn back to the...
I think Ito knows that it's ultimately helpless, but what he wants to do is specifically give the people who are trying anyway a break.
I'm going to give Connor an opportunity to remember something that was said
fuck off.
quite a bit of ways ago on the it was done on the back of a dragon turtle on the Green Lady's Island. Something important that the Green Lady said about Adelaide and about Ito and about serving, about ruling. Because this is one of the important things that was in Ito's story. It was very important.
I think I know the gist,
and Adelaide,
but I don't.
Well,
I don't
give
know.
me the gist of it.
Because that was when Ito was having his challenge of faith and coming to the conclusion that his family is dog shit, but that the Ito is not his ancestors and he does not have to do he doesn't have to fail in that same way.
It does tie into Ito's story, not just from there, but as a whole, from the start. Something that Ito knew, but Adelaide needed to learn. And that's why she's like, you need to teach her this.
That no amount of nobility matters without people beneath you or around you.
Fair enough. One of the things that it's pretty close. One of the things that the Green Lady insists is that you have to teach that your position, you're not just a ruler, you're also a servant. A servant to the people.
Yes.
That is the important thing that the Green Lady told you, that Adelaide doesn't need to be just a strong ruler. She has to be a good ruler, and those are two different things. And there's this idea of imparting onto her the knowledge that you're not just a ruler of the people, you're a servant of the people. And so, holy shit, I got sidetracked. It was an important thing that was a whole big thing that the Green Lady pulled you aside and talked to you about, and it's something that you have seen has arisen in Adelaide when she was talking about, like, I have to serve the people. I can't just like she's not fully there, but she's mostly there, and that's thanks to you teaching her about it, and through not just words but through actions, right? And not just you, it really probably be everybody that she's been traveling with. But yeah,
We did it, guys.
that was
We
the important
built a
thing.
better emperor.
But I got sidetracked. What were we talking about?
It was how Ito was spending his
Yeah.
days, and
Uh,
I think I would default to Venta coming to get me when it was time
Yeah.
to leave.
So you continue following in that vein, this vein that you've been teaching her about serving the people. You serve the people. You are not just giving her hollow words. You act on those words. And that's why it's become so effective for her, because you didn't just tell her to do it, you did it.
I do want to reserve a spell slot to cast Dream for Amelia.
Okay.
I want to kind of take her to her parents in that dream, as sort of like a relief since she's been away from home for so long.
All right.
But other than that, I'm wasting spell slots, damming the tide as best I can.
Like I said, you act as a servant, but you damn the highest best you can. You know you can only do what you can do, though.
And Valdira is with Adelaide, right? Or,
Yes.
Adelindra.
She's with Adelindra. She is her page, essentially.
Okay.
Which is, she could be killed in the fighting. You don't know, but you haven't heard word that she's dead. You get the feeling Adelindra would probably take care of her.
Other than that, I make sure my people are fed. I make sure anybody who's capable of doing something has something to do.
You have seen a lot
What are-
of empty
what are-
hands.
I did want to ask, what are the monks up to?
They have taken to brewing. Previously they brewed wine. Now they're brewing beer.
Okay. Is that just for?
It's strictly for caloric purposes.
Got it. Okay, that's what I figured.
There's not a lot of bread to go around. The bread is going stale, so beer doesn't really go stale. They're brewing low alcohol, high caloric intake beer. However, you could go get Reed to consult with them if you wanted to. They're monks. He's a monk.
I would definitely arrange that at some point. Because I'm assuming we're here for several days. I would definitely.
Yeah. Like I said, you've got a month before you need to even be back on
yeah.
this airship.
So I would definitely arrange that for sure. Reed can do that if he'd like. Other than that, yeah, waiting on Venta. And I would like to visit the shrine. With the vestments.
I mean, that's
the wedding vestments.
That's not a problem. Like I said, the shrine has been largely rebuilt. It has been, like I said, refurbished in a way. So there's often quite a few. Perhaps you're pleased to see just how many people are going and praying to the shrine. An all-new reawakening of the Green Lady, essentially, that you brought to the island. That being said, it's still not exactly packed.
Sure.
You know, what can you do?
If I could, while there, I would just talk to people, but I would also want to send her a message about that. And then, yeah, no, other than that, ready to leave when Venta is.
All right.
Alright.
A couple days later, I go get Ito. I'm like, all right, we
Get him.
gotta
Get
go
that Ito.
make the spaghetti sauce.
Oh, but I am taking the vestments from their resting place and taking them with me.
Okay.
I think it was a veil or a shawl,
There was a veil.
and there was a
It was-
men.
It was
These are like
essentially
a
a
pair-
wedding veil.
Yeah, and I will take that with me.
Okay. Are you gonna wear a wedding veil? Are you gay?
Yes.
He's a gay boy.
But yeah, so that's it.
Fuck.
I
All right.
finish up yep, and I'll get Connor. Or
All
I'll
right.
get
Before you do that, Reed, how would you react if someone came to get you?
Ooh.
Your progress with Korra has been slow. Understandably, a month is not gonna to fix the PTSD. She, to the monk's credit, they provide her with what comforts they can provide her, but she, like I said, she sleeps in a tent because she will not. Just sleep. The mere act of sleeping inside gives her panic attacks. Even being inside the walls of the monastery gives her a panic attack because the idea of being closed in, after being in the Underdark where she was constantly closed in, just sends her into a panic attack. You find even sleeping next to her in the tent, every now and then, you wake up to a knife pressed to your throat with her breathing heavily, as you have to take her outside just so she can look up at the stars to understand that she's no longer in the dark of the Underdark. It is something that's... It's not going to be fixed in a month, you know? So how do you respond when, after a couple weeks, Ito's like, will you come with me to help with something? Talk with something to the other monks.
I mean, I said incentive or anything, but we kind of already were planning on starting to leave.
And I will say, Korra absolutely will not go with you.
Yeah, you already said that.
The idea of being confined on an airship is just too much for her. How much time would you like to spend with her?
To be honest, I mean, we've already been there a month, you said?
You have a month total. You can spend however month of that doing different things.
That was a thing. Originally, I thought I was only going to be there like a week.
Well, you can spend a week.
Alright.
The week passes by in a flash. As I said, you probably spend most of it with Korra. She initially doesn't... She almost is afraid to look at you, because she keeps thinking that she might be asleep. She might be dreaming. But after a couple days, she realizes that that's not the case. She realizes that you're here. However, she still seems guarded. Scared. She sleeps with you in her tent, but oftentimes, like I said, she pulls the knife to your throat. Sometimes you find sometimes you wake up with a knife to your throat. Sometimes you wake up to hear her hyperventilating, gasping for air as she is on her hands and knees outside the tent, in the snow, sort of breathing heavily, looking up at the stars as they can do nothing but wrap your arms around her and wrap a blanket over her and let the panic pass. You remember something, or Grandmaster Theobrad tells you something that sticks with you. Something that he's questioned himself. He tells you, whenever I'm laying in bed at night and it's calm, I want to ask her what she saw in the Underdark, but by the light of day, I'm terrified to ask her. And that sort of sits with you. This idea that, when you're with her and it's quiet, you think about what did she go through in the Underdark, but when you see her, you are scared to ask her what she saw because of what that might do to her. And so you merely let her be around you and be around Bruno and be calm. And over that course of the week, she becomes more comfortable with you. But after that week, it's time to move on. Not from her necessarily, but obviously you have, just as she had things to do, you have things that you must do. And so on that final day, you come to her knowing that now that she's become a little bit more comfortable with you, now that she's been willing to bare herself to you, to show you her vulnerability, you're now coming to her saying that you are going to have to leave, for now, at least. Alright, Reed, go.
I mean, we kind of went over all this last week,
No, I want to fucking hear it. I want to hear the role-playing.
No, I mean, we did. He told her that he has to go again.
I want to fucking hear it again.
It'll be the
I
last
want
time
to
when he comes back.
I want to hear
It'll be just the two of them, wherever she wants.
I want to hear the
No
crying.
boundaries,
I want to
no
hear you cry.
borders.
You gotta cry.
Say it.
I want to hear you cry. I want to hear the tears in your voice.
There's gonna be tears in my voice if we don't
All
see
right.
the fucking thing soon.
Adelaide now. Adelaide doesn't trust black people now. Congratulations, Reed. You did.
What?
She doesn't trust Drow.
Oh no!
All right, but you spend a week with her.
You did this.
She cries.
Paul. You did this.
Damn. Oh well.
You go back to the ship. You go and you talk with the druids on Ito's Island. They're brewing beer. Who cares?
God damn.
You're like, hey, why are you brewing wine instead of beer? They're like, well, because people are hungry. And you're like, alright, that's fine. The end. That's all. That's the extent of it. That's all that has to be done with it. You head back to the airship.
God damn.
Ito, you find Venta. You head back to the airship. You're like, I love Ito. I love my wife. She's pregnant. Venta's like, I met a girlfriend. She's also not pregnant.
To my knowledge.
To my knowledge. She hasn't slept with you yet, but so, if she turns up pregnant, you can doubt. Of course, it might just be a green lady disease baby, so you don't know.
Is that a thing?
It might be. You head back to the airship. Everybody reconvenes on the airship. Karakwa, you're there on the airship.
I'm literally part of the airship.
The Skyweaver is awakened. The tree has awakened the Skyweaver. It's now a sentient airship. Nipsey is there. She keeps grinding up against the fucking rails of the airship, saying, "Can you feel it, Skyweaver?"
Stop that. Nipsey,
Are you feeling it, Mr. Krabs? Are you feeling it?
Colin, Karako grabs his water spray bottle and Nipsey. No. Bad Nipsey.
Alright, but,
Colin, you need
Yep.
me to do something, right?
Say what?
I thought you needed me to do something.
It was more of a thing where Adelaide was kind of gonna open up to a little bit more. She's always been a little bit guarded, but now she really like unloaded herself. Like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, I am not strong. I've always been sort of a spoiled rich kid. I don't know how to use a sword. I don't know how to cast magic, and now they're asking me to come and be the figurehead, the leader of an army against some sort of foe that I'm not even able to comprehend. That's not for me. And she's like, we can turn this airship around and just leave and not worry about it. The two of us. We can live somewhere else. We can we have money. We have, we can go into Jinmai Dynasty. We can live with Jinlong.
I don't think we can. That Colin, does she have her sword on her?
Of course she does. She always has
Like,
to
is it,
access
in
to
her
it.
hand?
Yes, she's been training with it a lot.
I'm just gonna swing at her and see if she tries to block it.
What? Think fast!
All right.
Dodge! Which I'm going to assume that she reacts and blocks, right?
She does hold up the sword to swat it to the side.
Yeah, and I go, so you don't think you're strong and ready to fight?
I worry that I'm not. She sort of says, I worry that I'm not.
Adelaide, I fought a god and won, and you just instinctively blocked my attack.
Roll a persuasion check with advantage.
Alright.
You get to add the battered wife roll bonus to this too.
Jesus Christ.
Domestic violence, but
Yeah.
they both got hands.
You can roll
It
a
works every
you
time.
can you can roll a d12 and add it to the roll. However, that you deal a d12 damage to Adelaide. My God,
I got a natural 20.
is that with the d12? Is that with the d12 battered wife damage you deal to Adelaide?
No.
My God.
Right.
Well, I had
Where do we keep the Pabst Blue Ribbon on the ship?
I technically got a -1 to my charisma, but I did roll a natural 20. I
Well,
don't
yeah,
care.
it's a 20. Fuck it. This isn't fucking Pathfinder. In Pathfinder, that would be a success instead of a critical success. So
Alright.
she,
Critically success.
Yeah. cause like I said, because technically, so in Pathfinder, because his 20 would not technically meet the DC to succeed. However, it is still a critical success. It would merely be a success instead of a critical success.
Yeah.
She merely sort of nods her head. She says, "You're right. I've been foolish. Weak." And she sort of looks at you, and she sort of says, "But that's why we found each other, right?"
It is. And then I politely punch her in the shoulder and say, "You got this, champ."
Roll D12.
Shut up. And she sort of says, "Shut up," and she pulls you into a kiss.
Aww.
Now this is called a. Then she saw. So this is called a sword, right? She holds up the sword.
She attempts to grapple me, so I judo flip her.
All right, she goes over the edge. Let's roll for damage from 200 feet. But she's so you punch her on. She kisses you and she says, but she does sarcastically. So this is a sword, right? She holds up the sword like we swing it. The pointy end goes out, right?
Well, I stab mine because they're kind of like pointy on the end, but yeah, I suppose you could swing it.
I don't think mine does that.
Oh, yeah, you just have a sharp edge.
It does. She is a paladin, so she can divine smite. So it does explode in damage.
I also have explosive criticals.
I'd like to see that.
I critically strike the chair next to me. I do
She grabs your hand and says.
8 damage.
She grabs your hand and she sort of starts leading you below deck and says, "Madam Vestia, make sure no one comes in our room." Madam Vestia nods her head.
Hear that, Henley? You can't come in the
Don't
room.
worry,
now.
he won't. Yeah.
I won't.
Henley's about to
Or
get.
she monkey paws you. She monkey paws you.
Henley's gonna get critically struck.
Jesus.
All right. We've had nice role-playing moments. That was the point of these
Sorry.
games. To
Sorry,
role-play.
my mom called.
Tell her, I would say, tell her I love her, but then I was like, wait, what? We've had nice role-playing moments. We've had moments of levity. You had, people talking about things. Had, everybody going around doing some shit. Everybody, after roughly a few weeks, the people that want to go into the Black Vault all reconvene. Aruna.
Fuck it, I want to go too. I'm magic.
Shit, me too. I have like 7 levels of sorcerer. Let's go.
I mean,
Let's
7
bring
levels of
the whole
sorcerer still provides magical prowess.
I
If you've got spell slots, you can provide magical prowess.
No, I'm gonna provide it anyways. I'm magic.
is Adelaide there?
You could ask her.
If Adelaide goes, I would try and go with her. If she does not, I will avoid.
She would initially not. She'd not be inclined to go.
Okay,
This is not really her thing.
sure.
That being said, if you were able to convince her to go, she is the rightful heir to that vault. So it might make it easier to get into if you were trying to go directly to the vault.
Nope. I just wanted. I will accompany Adelaide if she's going. If not, I will not bother.
Her plan was not to. It's not really her place. Or at least she would not be really that interested in it. She's interested in her own internal personal strength. She's not interested in harvesting the strength of Hospedale. Alright. Who's going? We got Klaus. We got
Me.
Alec Cool. We got Aruna. I know Tommy would go.
I told you, I'm going.
Henley's going, but Henley has no magical.
We have the most magical boy.
Henley has no spell slots, so his contributions to the actual ritual of raising Hospedale will be.
I'm gonna try anyways.
I'll allow it.
Fucking just give yourself
mean,
a hemorrhoid.
He does have like godly connections to some degree, so I guess it's
true.
fair.
I'm a werebeast. I am innately magical.
Wait till he turns his whenever he becomes the head of the Wild Hunt, he's riding a fucking giant undead dragon god instead of a horse.
You know that actually maybe we need some Wild Hunt blood. You want to make a donation to the Red Cross, Henley?
Are you,
I have god blood.
Are you jokingly asking me for my blood or actually asking me
All
for
right.
my blood?
Cody, you got
Yes.
Tommy's.
Yes.
You got Tommy's number, and he's responding.
Sadly.
Ask him if would
Okay.
he bring Baba Yaga into raising
Nah.
Hospedale.
Okay.
There's no fucking way she makes it in that room. Vent to the sense of disturbance in the force and make sure she doesn't get in that room.
She's not an enemy.
Baba Yaga is not an enemy.
Ito changes his mind.
But also, yes, I do. I
Bob
will
Baba
give
Yaga
Klaus-
is a frenemy.
I do.
I was
I
about to
give
say.
Klaus my
If
blood.
if you're going to be a problem, you do not come.
Ito's never a problem.
Baba Yaga.
Ito is literally always a problem.
Baba Yaga is problematic, but also it serves her purpose to have Stolreich not be destroyed.
Does that mean she's a problematic fave?
The fuck are you talking about? I don't know what that means.
I'm sorry, I had to be a white girl for a minute.
Well, you know what? Fucking, you can. I bet you can gobble a whole turkey leg for white girl dinner.
I don't like turkey.
I don't like
Blood
turkey
does
either.
Klaus need?
At least 2.
I don't
That's
ask. I
what
just
we do.
bite you.
I want to make sure he gets enough blood.
I'll get enough.
God, I mean,
No,
Alcohol has
not
access
trying
to
to
plenty of
turn
blood.
enemies.
No, I can.
Tommy says Klaus and I are pretty smart, and I'm technically the queen of witches, so I would.
So you're bringing in
I-
Baba Yaga. All right, we got
Okay.
Baba Yaga, boys.
I
pretty much, she
I
pretty
asked-
much has what she wants. Just have to be careful of what she says.
Yeah, do not make a deal with her.
Don't make
I
a
go
deal.
to if I hear Henley and Klaus talking, I immediately just say it won't hurt that bad, and I stab Henley in like his ass really quick.
In all
with the
fairness, as
the
you've
double daggers,
as you
and I
have
get blood in it.
as you have gotten stronger, Baba Yaga has been less inclined to make deals and more inclined to make bargains. She's
legally distinct from deals.
more like where she's taking something for her own bit of it, where you're more on an equal ground, where she sees you can do something I want, and so we can both benefit from that. So she's been more inclined to make like, instead of like a one-sided deal with a monkey's paw, she's like, all right, I'm willing to work with you because you can do something that I want. That was the sort of deal that Baba Yaga made with Aruna when Aruna became the Queen of Witches, because she wanted influence over the child. So, and she got influence over the child.
We're not reaching into the straight to DVD bin at Walmart.
No, you're not.
Rick, you take 9 points of damage. I take your blood.
That could.
I'm not gonna take that damage because it doesn't fucking matter.
It doesn't, but I stab you in the ass and fill up the daggers with blood.
I mean, that could be potentially useful.
Everybody, I need you to look at that shirt.
I forget what, because the Thri-kreen or the Bloodthirst double daggers deal bonus stuff depending on what blood you take. Although I can't remember any of them.
I don't remember either, but I was just gonna hold the blood in it.
Okay, that's fine. So you have humanoid blood. The bonus of humanoid blood is if you spend a healing die, you get an additional d6.
That's whatever. I'm mostly just gonna use the blood in the ritual.
And also you have they count as a +2 weapon instead of a +1 weapon against humanoids.
Yeah. All right, Klaus. Me.
Yeah.
Henley, I guess.
Henley can go, yep.
Is Arventa or Koraqua going?
No, Venta's not going. That was a joke.
Okay.
Actually, if I found out that Adelaide is not going, I would try and spend the time with her.
That's fine.
Okay.
I would take the opportunity to be with her.
So it's basically just Koraqua, and then I guess if Reed wants to go, I have literally no idea why he would, but
Nope.
Figures.
Okay, so just Koraqua then.
Reed doesn't deal with that magical bullshit.
Magic? Nah.
Karakua's all of a sudden having second thoughts.
This beer wall could keep out the fucking Mongols.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've done it, boys.
All right.
We've made the beer menorah.
It's getting close to that time of year. All right. I am going. It sucks without fucking Tommy here.
Just wait till Tommy gets here.
It is 8:30. We can just do it next week.
I want to. I want to
No,
get.
then we don't have Beaver.
Then we don't have Beaver, and we don't have.
Would you rather have Beaver or Tommy?
Would you rather
Or
have
Tommy's Beaver?
I feel
Beaver?
like it's more Beaver's thing.
Beaver, what time do you think you'd get home from the game next week?
Well, the game starts
at 1
at
o'clock?
4:05.
Oh, is it 4?
Oh.
Shit.
Oh yeah,
he's
gone, boys.
Yep. They flexed it.
Beaver, how would you feel?
Nobody wants to watch your...
How would you feel?
What?
But it also feels like a real fucking Klaus-centric
Yeah, no, we can't skip that shit.
fucking thing.
Just do it this week then. It's fine.
It's fine. You know what, Tommy?
I mean,
Tommy.
I'll be in the stands with my phone.
No,
so I mean, like, if you
no,
didn't- if
Tommy's.
you didn't talk to me on the
Tommy's
Discord.
here to aid you. This is a Klaus thing. Tommy's
Yeah.
just
It
here
is
to
more
help.
Klaus than Aruna,
And
for
so, so you, let me pull up Aruna's sheet. I'm just gonna roll a check for her, an Arcana check for her. She's very good at Arcana, so.
Arcana.
Well, she rolled a 32. She crit.
Jesus Christ.
Literally, no. The opposite of that, actually.
Aruna has to go to the circle, and Klaus, you kind of have to stand next to her, and the Redeemer forms sort of up beside her, and the two of them get on two different sides of the circle, focusing on this protected vault, this normally protected vault. However, the Redeemer knows the protections of this vault, and so he's able to aid Aruna in creating a tiny little pinpoint, the smallest of passages that you pass straight into the vault, bypassing having to stop in the capital and make your way to the vault, which I will say would have been a series of stealth and basically athletics and acrobatics checks, because the capital is filled with the Raiders of Black Everfrost. They're just hanging out there.
Yeah, it's overrun.
It's overrun. So by going straight into the vault, you don't have to make any of those checks. It's much as you've left it.
That's a pretty neat trick. That's a pretty neat trick, I'm not going to lie.
It's much as you left it. Just empty, blank. And you make your way towards a familiar teleportation circle. One that previously kind of shuttled you around the Black Vaults. One that did not... Let me, do I want to bring up a Black... I don't feel like I need to bring a Black Vault map. You pass by the two large dragon head skulls, the ones that previously were traps, now disarmed, obviously, walking along the long blue carpet to the teleportation circle. This is the place where, Klaus, this is the place where you fucking died. You're, like, killed.
Yep.
You can see the blood stains on the floor.
I point out the blood stain on the floor where, like, I died. I'm like, good times.
The very
Down
place
there.
where the Wraith of the Redeemer, the sort of spirit of him, attached itself to you. You know, you pass by the pool that grants wishes, but you know it's also a monkey's paw. You know, you pass by that. The very place that Magden stepped into, that, you know, others have considered stepping into, but also know full well that it's a cursed pool. You make your way to the teleportation circle, knowing that there is a third level, a secret level, one that was not previously unlocked, one that the Redeemer has access to, and that you have access to. You're able
and
to...
I got to see it.
You got to see it. You did get to see it.
It was horrifying.
Yeah, you get to look through the window. It's okay.
It is indeed
We'll go through the window
horrifying.
this time.
It is indeed horrifying, because it is not like a floor. It is merely like imagine a stony floor that does not have walls. It just ends in a black expanse. You can see about 20 feet away from you. And yet you feel comfortable as soon as you land in it. You find yourself walking vaguely to the north for about 100 feet to find several tables that are covered in alchemical tomes, as well as a table that has a massive, like, dragon's, like the bottom jaw of a dragon's skull on it. Now, this dragon's jaw is roughly... Hold on, 1, 2... 60 feet long.
God.
This dragon's jaw is roughly 60 feet long. Big, and it's only a portion of a dragon's jaw. Right around it, you have smaller dragon's bones.
Guys, we didn't think of the logistics of summoning a mountain range-sized dragon in the middle of the capital. Oh no!
I feel like me and Klaus were both very aware.
You find that there are 3 very large vertebrae, and each vertebrae is roughly 30 to 35 feet. The 3 vertebrae are 100 feet of distance. The dragon's jaw, another 60, so it's roughly 160 feet. There are smaller dragon's bones around it. They're almost like binding. They're almost like a sacrifice to animate these old dragon bones, to provide them with younger life. You all gather round. You reach into the Redeemer's shadow and are able to pull out the most recent of bones. One that looks rather simple. It's only roughly 20 feet long. It's not, the Redeemer says, I mean, it's not as much as I would have liked, but considering the circumstances, I don't think we got much time left.
Yes, we should come here to do what we need to do. Make do with what we have.
I don't know if it'll be as strong as Bismarck, but it'll be damn close. At least enough that we can go toe to toe with him instead of just being crushed underneath the fucking foot of a powerful wizard riding a red dragon.
Pretty fucking metal, though.
Yeah, all we need to do is just ground her. And I'm sure the rest can take it from there.
I mean, he nods his head. Well, if we can't ground her, he pats the giant vertebrae. This'll be ground for us.
Yeah. I put the blood in something else at this point. There you go. That's probably, a decent amount. At least a cup or two.
I mean, it is blood of a god, so I mean, pretty sure we can stretch that a little bit.
That's fair enough. Alright. Everyone who's there that has spell slots.
I'm still trying.
You get, bless your heart, you can try. You gather round. So, Klaus, you are the primary caster of this DC because you were the one that, you and the Redeemer are the one that are raising it. However, the people that are there can expend spell slots to lower the DC of it. I'm just gonna have Aruna.
Spend all of them?
She is gonna spend a 9th level spell slot. You can only spend one spell slot. So you can't just drop every spell.
Oh, okay.
Can I spend a spell slot for my commune that's 5th level?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Okay, so I will, and I guess I'll do it as like communing with the Mantis Queen and trying to guide what needs to happen in order for it to work correctly.
All right.
Well, now it comes the question of, do I drop 3rd level spell slot, or do I try to use Animate Dead through the Eyes of Vecna?
Depends on how much claim you want Vecna to have on it.
We want 0 claim.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
I'm drunk.
We know.
I feel
You
like no
don't
matter
say.
what, Vecna will have like a bit of like a little pinky finger on him. Just
I
'cause they're
also
tied to Bruce.
I cast guidance on you, and I threat of fate you to give you advantage.
It's fair.
All right.
So that's a 5th level slot advantage and a D4.
All right.
I do want to ask the Redeemer, like, if we were to channel the Eyes of Vecna, how much control do you think we'd be giving up to him? Like, if you were just like giving like a percentage.
In the moment, I reckon not a lot, but after the fact, I worry about.
Yeah.
We don't want that, buddy.
True.
Are we standing over the bones?
Sure enough.
Yes, they're around.
them. None of us can stand over them. The bones are
I'm
bigger.
gonna
than
take
we
my
are.
hand and I'm just gonna cut it and bleed on one of the bones and be like, "Is that good, Klaus?"
It doesn't
We
hurt.
already
It's
have,
a big
we
help,
already
buddy.
have your blood. Thanks
guys
for helping,
seen-
pal.
Hey, we need more. All of it.
You guys have
No,
seen
not all of it.
Spider-Man. Far
Henley
From
has to
Home,
kill
right?
it.
Kinda like
Henley has to kill
Henley is
himself.
I kind of
absolutely-
like squeeze my hand more to try to get out.
All
if
right.
you do that too much, I'm gonna have to turn you into a vampire, and I don't want to have to do that.
Vampire God Emperor.
Henley just cut off the whole arm.
With
Wait, is Steinhurst there? I have Steinhurst with me,
Steinhurst
right?
is always with you.
She's
Steinhurst
literally a
does not
magical
need-
spiritual animal. Can she contribute?
She
Weren't we gonna have Steinhurst possess
she's
it?
a creature
at
of
some
the
point?
Shadowfell. It's weird. She can't really do a lot.
Can she act as a conduit? As
Not
a spirit?
Not really, because she's a she's
okay.
she's not she's not dead. She's not an undead. She's a living creature. She's just a creature of the Shadowfell.
Alright, that's fair. That's fine.
She's not actually like undead or any kind of death. She's like oh, no, she's not a beast, but she is a beast of the Shadowfell. So she's not like dead.
Okay. She's a monstrosity or an aberration. She's not a beast. I got you.
Monstrosity. She's an aberration. She's not a monstrosity.
Yeah, I got you. Well.
All right.
I blow on the bones.
All right, yeah, I'll use a 3rd level.
Okay. 9th, 3rd, 5th. So we're at 9th, 12th, 7th, 17th. Minus 17 to the DC. You do have advantage.
And a D4.
And a D4. So go ahead and roll an Arcana check with advantage. Add a D4.
I also can't get less than a 17.
You had a 17.
And if
so.
you take the portent dice of 6.
Awesome.
would you like to take the port dice?
So
That's
it's
real
27.
good.
All right. 50. Math is fucking hard. Calculator.
Oh boy.
Calculator.
I want you to know that Henley's sticking his hands out and he's trying to concentrate magic into it.
He's
Don't
he's
do
like
that too hard, you're
everybody's
gonna get your pants.
He's really trying to help.
everybody's closing their eyes and like and Henley's like peeking, trying to copy
No,
people.
he's like
Oh,
going
man.
magic.
Yeah, magic.
He's about to shit his loincloth.
All right.
He's like, okay, Henley.
What is your
watch them do this constantly?
Henley, what is your psychic damage dice? Like the one you would roll when you deal psychic damage?
A D12.
Roll a D12.
Oh no, he's gonna shard.
He's gonna shit his pants
3.
and give himself a headache.
Oh no, we gotta bring in Baba Yaga.
Do we?
Yes, because you didn't meet the DC. Even with the DC.
Wait, I do 2d12 when I do my psychic damage.
Oh,
Okay, roll
Oh.
2d12. Or roll a second
got Tommy.
D12.
take
I
the
get Tommy
6.
here.
Another 7.
27. It's not enough. Oh wait. Nope, that is enough because that's 37. It's 37. It's just that's one more than the 36 you had to, because it was
We did it, boys.
the
We
DC.
saved the day.
So the DC was 50 minus the spell slots you put into it. So you went over
Yeah.
the
Barely.
DCs.
We made it.
So you don't have to call in Baba Yaga to make any kind of deals. All right.
End of the world is exactly when you come in the clutch. Exactly when you want that.
It's something the Panthers need to learn.
The pen.
Yeah, just
God.
summon an evil deity to
What's-
help you empower
it's-
your
it's-
fucking
No,
spell.
let's
It's
not
fun-
put Frank Reich's soul in this dragon, please. We want him to work.
It's fun. It's fun to say that Bryce Young is a bust, but the team is so bad. Who could fucking even tell how bad or good he is? It's just awful.
I can't wait for him to go to another team and actually do well.
I can't wait. I can't wait to.
Fun in 5
I
years.
can't wait to trade him to Chicago and he becomes like great.
God.
All right. Well, you do manage
Maybe
to
we
just
slightly use Caleb Williams.
just get over the DC of 36 with a 37 total. As slowly the bones do sort of come to life. It's not nearly as dramatic as you would think. There's not some great roaring sound. Merely the bones begin to sort of slowly move and shake as Klaus, you find that you're able to direct the jaw as Hasfadel the Scourge sort of well, the Draco Lich that essentially is made of him sort of slowly comes to life. You can hear a voice in your head. Master?
Oh boy.
As you have taken
Welcome
control
back
of
to the
him.
world of the living.
But it is a hungry sort of sound, one that claws at your concentration. As like I said, you cannot cast another concentration spell until he is no longer around. That's okay,
Yeah.
you know. You can cast Bane without concentration with your dagger and things like that, so.
Yeah.
Also, like, of the things that you get for a concentration spell,
A Dragon God's a pretty good one.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Uh,
It's also a pretty good time to have Warcaster, so I have advantage on your concentration checks.
I will say, the vault itself. One of the things I thought about is the fact that whenever you cast Bane and your sort of you throw the dagger down to make you lose the dagger. So within the vault, you do find a +2 weapon for you, Klaus. Because I had thought about it. I was like, you lose your +3 dagger whenever you actually throw it in the ground. So.
Damn.
Oh, we're doing it in the vault?
Yeah, if in the vault there's
Okay.
tons of weapons. So.
Gotcha, okay.
Because
So Vecnazito becomes a part of the ritual, is what you're saying.
no. He's just giving you an extra weapon.
I'm
when
giving you an
use
extra
your
weapon because
fucking
when
zombie
you
thing.
use your
I
when you
got you.
throw the dagger down to make your Bane area, that you lose the dagger.
I got you. Yeah, I got you.
So you can get a, like I said, it's a +3 dagger. You can get a +2 whatever weapon you want to replace that. So
Gotcha.
whenever it's
Battle
down and casting Bane in the area and raising undead, you have another weapon that is slightly less good.
Klaus with the battle axe.
It's any weapon you want, Klaus. It could be a rapier, it could be a dagger, it could be a short sword, it could be a scimitar. It's your choice.
I got you.
Scythe.
Could be a scythe.
God damn. Actually, am I proficient in that? Because I'm.
You are now.
not.
I can make it a weapon that
Shit.
you're proficient
Yeah,
in.
fuck it. Do it. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it.
Okay. You
Let's
can
make a
have
goddamn death
a
sight.
+2 scythe. Just add a +2 spear. It's basically the same thing.
Gotcha.
Or glaive. I guess it'd be a glaive.
What is a scythe but a curved spear?
I'll probably have to make it.
College doesn't make my weapon, by the way.
I do, but I know you're not. I know you're not fighting this week, so I haven't worried about it.
Colin's very
I was,
drunk.
keep-
Look at
I
all the
was
beer
reminding
bottles.
you so that next week
No,
we didn't like
let
do
him
anything
cook.
bad, you
I
go,
thought about
"Wait."
I thought about it earlier, but then I was like, you're not fighting this week, so I'm not gonna worry about it.
I just
Colin.
imagine Henley's watching this magic spear come to Klaus, and he's like, "Are you a new weapon?"
To tell you the truth, you're probably not fighting next week either. Next week is going to be a logistics and planning. It's not even going to be a role playing week.
Colin thought about it and then cracked open his 7th beer.
Fuck you! I'm on
Do
beer number 8.
I'm pretty sure he must be on like 9 by now.
No, I'm on 8.
Colin, do I know that I
Yes,
magically
please.
contributed to this?
Yeah.
Okay, so
No,
I
you're
felt it.
you're very confident.
I put it on and I put it over.
Yep.
Ha!
In fact-
I knew I could do magic.
In fact, your magical contribution was what cast it over the edge.
I know. That's why I point to everyone and go, "I told you I could do magic." None of you believed me.
It's good
He's
to
the mouse that helps
it's
the
good to
cat.
remember
I
that.
brought you along because I did.
It's good to remember that because in Pathfinder, your contributions of +1s and +2 will make things critical hits instead of regular hits.
Yup.
All right, Klaus, you're surprised as all of the the Redeemer within the shadows of the vault is able to expand and pull all the bones into him somehow, like some sort of strange bag of holding. But he will hold them until it's time for them to be deployed.
Deploy the boat.
Excellent.
That's the whole point, is that next week,
Quickly,
On
bone 'em.
Dragon Ball Z.
Next week, you are going to find that you are next week. The first thing you're going to do is meet with Gen. He is going to go over the actual logistics of what is happening. I will go ahead and tell you, the front has advanced to Magden's Stand. That is the edge between Stalreich and Baz Kumlahar. The very place where previously Magden von Richten sort of won independence at his own life against the Jinma dynasty. The combined forces of the Jinma dynasty and Baz Kumlahar. You will be splitting into groups of 3, or 2 to 3, I imagine, with troops, generally with troops that you have gathered over time. Obviously, Karakwa, you're going to meet with Abigail. You're going to meet with Luciel and Lyra. You will have the various druids that you will deploy with. Reed is going to deploy with the monks, and that sort of thing. Henley is going to deploy with the troops that he's gathered, like Crowder and the Wild Hunt and all that. Ito is going to deploy with Venta, as well as Adelindra and the Flaming Hussars.
I'm an honorary hussar for a little bit.
You very well basically are. Because like I said, Venta's whole thing is that he's been gathered with Ito, so you're going to deploy with Ito. Alec Cool, I imagine, is going to go out with Klaus. They will have vampires.
Yeah.
Various vampires and vampiric troops. Did I miss anybody's deployed people? So Reed's got the monks.
Who's Adelaide gonna be with?
She will be with Ito.
Okay.
Or no, she'll be with Henley. She would be with Henley at the end of the day. Her whole thing was she's breaking away from Ito. She's chosen her partner, and that is Henley. She will be with Henley, but like I said, she's only a single troop. So we'll worry about it then. I'll worry about it then. I'll have an entire week to think about it, but that's what we will worry about next week with you deploying troops into various aspects of a larger battlefield, and you will be fighting smaller fights before leading to the major fight. Like I said, the idea is these are the fights that are kind of draining you of resources before you go into the final fights of Bismarck and the White Tide Mother and the King of Black Everfrost. But these will all take place at Magden's Stand, and we will pick it up next time there. And hopefully Tommy will be there,
On Dragon Ball Z.
Beaver will not. So,
well, Beaver, if there's anything you want done, just message me and I will manage troops in that manner.
Beaver, you're going to be with you will be with Alec Cool, and you will have vampire troops.
Awesome. I mean, I'll still be like on my phone, and I have alerts for this channel on my phone.
Yeah,
so,
I'll message
you. Aren't going to be watching the game anyway. Let's be real.
There's not going to be a lot to watch except the Panthers getting their ass beat in. That's going to be it.
Exactly.